So, Skrulls are the bad guys. And you're a Kree, a race of noble warriors.
Heroes. Noble warrior heroes.
Your life began the day it nearly ended. We found you. We made you one of us. You were reborn.
Something in my past is the key to all of this. I think I had a life here. What aren't you telling me?
You've come a long way, but you're not as strong as you think. This war is just the beginning.
I'm gonna end it.
How long will you play Captain Marvel for?
I don't know. Does anyone want me to do it again?
Don't be so modest.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have the answer to that.
Well, hello everyone. We are back. MMM, episode 45, and we decided to celebrate our 45th episode by talking about actually Andrew's favorite movie ever, Captain Marvel. Yeah, so we decided to kind of talk about this movie because it is coming, the sequel's coming out, The Marvels. Is it even considered a sequel at this point? I mean, Brie Larson, it's not really
sort of, maybe.
I mean, I guess. It's a movie with her in it.
I'm just curious because, yeah, I don't know. No, apparently the box office tracking is awful for this movie. What did you say, Andrew? Lower than the Flash opening weekend so far?
Pre-sales.
Sorry, pre-sales.
Very low.
So yeah, we decided let's review the first movie. I hadn't seen this movie probably since about the year it came out, and talking to everybody backstage, this was one of the most painful experiences to rewatch that I can remember. And I just watched The Expendables 4 not long ago. It's right up there with that crap. So anyway, we have a great panel for you guys tonight. We have great guests. Little Platoon, thank you for joining us for this lovely, momentous occasion. Welcome back, sir.
Oh, I was going to say thank you for having me, but given it's for Captain Marvel, I'm not sure thanks is quite right. But nevertheless, thank you for having me.
I don't blame you for being angry. Jay, Desolate Souls, how you doing there, buddy?
What's up? The gooch is loose. Yeah, thanks. Well, again, yeah, I don't know if I want to say thanks for having me. I think this is kind of a Chinese torture test. So,
you're welcome. Last minute edition. Vex invited him last minute, which is also he's always welcome. Backface, my Canadian brethren. How are you doing, sir, with that beautiful hair?
I'm good. Today I am Black Platoon. So.
Where's the accent, though?
This is Black Platoon's accent.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Race swap platoon.
Oh, I could go from the south. I could kind of talk like White Bear if you'd like.
Oh, that's even better. Do it. The man without the stash, Andrew. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, my whole character is gone.
I can't get used to this, man. This is weird. But
we're always fine.
Yeah, I'm sure you have a lot to say about this fantastic movie. I think you're all just crazy for not liking it.
True.
Vex, how are you? How you doing, dear?
Well, I'm okay. I will be defending this film this evening because, unlike Bill Cosby, I enjoy a challenge.
Wow! Holy shit! Okay, well there you go.
The JJ Unite.
Yeah. White Bear, my favorite hillbilly from the South. How are you doing, buddy?
Toodaloo, dude, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm about to talk about a movie I hate. So, I mean, like Platoon, I actually hate myself for this, but we're gonna suffer all this together. And here, while we're talking about it, might as well just freaking get into it. Woo! Here we go, baby. Okay. Again, it's 2 hours of torture, people. So everybody, listen, everybody in the chat, thank you. Welcome. Anybody who's new, we love you. Thank you for joining us for this. Suffer in the pain with us and help us get through this horrible, horrible time we're about to go through.
Is it worth just setting up, like, how many times have people seen this film? Because I was trying to figure this out when I put it on again, and I couldn't remember the last. I think I might have only seen it once before today, in fact. So this might have been my second viewing. Has anybody actually seen it more than once? Anybody chosen to watch the Captain Marvel more than once?
3 times now for me.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Twice in theaters.
Twice in theaters?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I bought the whole Avengers Infinity War and Endgame hype, so I went and saw it that first time for it, didn't like it, and then a girlfriend of mine really wanted to see it, so went and saw it again, unfortunately. And I had to pay for like the premium seats because we went to the fancy theater where it's like the big chairs and they bring you food and all that stuff. So that was $25 down the drain. So, I mean, I contributed to that 1.1 billion at least, you know. There's some authenticity to that box office number. And I watched it today.
To be fair, I did see MOM and Love and Thunder twice in theaters, mostly because I saw it, thought it was garbage, then I dragged my friends to suffer.
To show how garbage it is.
Yeah. Just for one time, reluctantly after, I think I caught this on the high seas not long after it came out in theaters because I was just curious to how bad it was. And then Saturday, the second time, I think I passed out both times though while I was watching it. So, like Jay was saying, he fell asleep. I think I just literally died and then came back. Halfway through the movie, it was so bad. So, yeah, might as well get to it. Let's scrub through. So, you're gonna have to help me with this because I probably blacked out during a long for much. But we get the beginning, dust and dirt flying everywhere. We get a very disgruntled, confused Brie Larson, which is pretty much how she is throughout the whole movie. But so it just basically opens up with this segment of how we find out later on how she got her powers, and then she's basically dreaming a lot in this movie and having these flashbacks. And so this was Vex, you were bringing this up. I completely spaced out on this. So she was on Earth, gone off of Earth for 5 years, 6 years?
For 6 years. So she disappeared in '89 after the crash that we learn about later, and then she's back in 1995 for the course of the film. But it's weird because none of the music that comes up in her like flashbacks or anything are from like '89 or prior when she left Earth. Instead, they're like 1995 hits, which she would have never heard. So, you know, that's one small nitpick I have with this phenomenal entry into the MCU. But, you know, I will let that slide because, you know, they just wanted to get those member berries going because I think most of the audience that bothered to pay to go watch this weren't even alive in the 80s.
That's very true. That's very true. So here we get to see the capital of Kree civilization. This is where the magic happens, man. And then Jay was saying that he thought Brie Larson was very attractive.
She's very cute in this movie.
Who said no? Andrew, didn't you say no?
Me.
Not in this movie? Yeah, you said not in this movie.
And Bagface.
Yeah, I vote
no.
I'll also agree she's not attractive in this movie. Or just generally, but it's more the demeanor than anything. Like, I don't. Like, if you imagine, spending time that you want to go out for drinks with someone, do you want to go out for a drink? Is it an attractive proposition to go out for a drink with someone who's just going to scold you the entire time?
Yeah.
Yes, because it makes it that much more enjoyable when you slip a roofie into their drink.
What if that's my kink? What if that's my kink though? Like just to be scolded and
we have to have a talk after
Be
this.
little-
We're gonna have to have an intervention.
If I'm looking for someone to step on my balls in high heels, Brie Larson's my first.
Right.
She would do it. Yeah, definitely. She'd be the perfect person to do that.
And what y'all think about Jude Law, like in this movie?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I didn't mind his acting. That's like the only one of the few positives.
It's a shame he doesn't have a character. But
Yeah.
his acting is quite
Yes.
good.
He's just
character
there.
is
He
all
was-
men.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is us. He's literally me.
He's constantly.
I think he
love
did well.
disrespecting women.
Yeah.
I think he did well with what they gave him.
He's fucking fit too.
He's he
really.
was
He's
good
pretty
shape.
yoked in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he doing Sherlock Holmes around like just before this?
Yeah, part two. must have come out.
That would have been a few years before this, actually. This was
Yeah.
2019. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually took notes on this opening scene. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So one of the big things he brings up in this conversation, which is supposed to be a theme for her character throughout the movie. By the way, I genuinely tried to find reasons why this movie was good. And then after this opening scene, it just devolved into a bunch of questions.
Yeah, I know. I'm in the Twitter chat, and she's like, "Why is this? Why is that? And what is this?" I'm like, "I don't know."
So like it's like he's constantly talking to her about how her doubt in her capabilities is a vulnerability, right? And I think given that this is supposed to be like a female empowerment film, this is a great thing in here because he's trying to tell her to stop being such a woman, stop using your emotions and just use your fucking brain and you can be the best part of yourself. Like he's basically just, telling her stop being a cunt and you'll be all right, which I think is a very necessary message for a lot of women.
It is, except the film then runs with that and says, because like every time he says, don't use your emotions are letting you down. But like, every time she uses her emotions, she instantly wins.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Activates her powers.
If I could give this movie some praise, that was hard to say. It's like pre the era where we decided that all women should not be emotional. So I think the point of it is supposed to be that like she uses her emotions as her strength, which is like kind of a feminine, I don't know, like an aspect of femininity. So you could give it like some credence that it at least leans into.
Could. It's just
Could,
that,
but
like, I
she's
reckon
never
it-
emotional.
No, but that's
in
the
the
thing.
movie,
Yeah, so
yeah.
like she uses emotions, and her emotions are portrayed in the manner of superpowers, like laser beams. That's what emotions are. Emotions aren't things that you read on people's faces or things you feel about people. Emotions are lasers.
Her hands line
Just
up.
being held back,
Yeah, typical.
Because
Yeah.
when I get emotional, I shoot lasers out of my eyes. That's how that works.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's like Jude Law's character is explaining to her about the Supreme Intelligence. So she goes to visit the Supreme Intelligence, and it's some weird AI thing.
It's some Venom thing.
This is
Venom
what happens when people go back to the back lobby of the Scientology house.
And then, of course, we get Annette Bening as the Supreme Being who knows all. And of course,
I'm sorry. This was such an awkward scene. It just didn't fit at all.
a lot of things in this movie didn't fit.
Well, that too, but I don't know. I don't know how you guys felt about this scene. If you're awake for this scene, but like watching this, it was so flat, and it just was so off-putting. I was like, I can't even watch this because it just looks like they're being forced to act the scene out.
Well, they definitely didn't spit on it first.
Because like this is the moment, what we are like 2 minutes into the film, this is the moment when the plot is already irrevocably broken. Everything about the film is already broken.
Yeah.
So the exposition dump for the Supreme Intelligence is that the Supreme Intelligence manifests in your subconscious. It knows everything about you. It's in your mind. She knows that she doesn't remember a huge amount about her past. She's been here for 6 years. At no point has she asked the Supreme Intelligence, hey, what can you find in my mind that I'm suppressing? Like, where are my memories gone? She's never asked that question. And so that's how the rest of the plot can proceed. But like, she's basically not been in existence. This film only works if you assume that nothing happened on this planet with this character before the camera was on. Because if you don't assume that, then you start asking questions like, why are you so fucking dumb? And as soon as you start asking that question, the film falls apart. So it was a good sign 2 minutes into the film to know that it's already broken.
In defense of... Oh, go ahead, Bags.
I was going to say, why the fuck would the Supreme Intelligence take the form of a person from her repressed memories that they're trying not to let her access? Seems like a weird flex.
Right. And my take on this was like, it's like how, women don't know what they want to eat. So you ask them, like, I don't know. And it's just like, you're supposed to know. So the Supreme Intelligence is like, this is symbolic of how men just need to be able to read women's minds.
That's crazy.
I like that. Now remind me again, because I think, again, this is another section where I blacked out early on. The thing on her neck, it's actually keeping her powers at bay, right? Like she can't access them fully because this thing's controlling her. Okay.
Or is it though? Or is it really? Is it limiting her, or is she only limited because she believes that she's limited, which seems to be the sort of the payoff at the end? I don't think it can, because her powers come from the Tesseract. So then if that thing is actually limiting her powers, then they have nicotine patches that can limit the power of the Tesseract. So if you'd slapped one of those on Thanos, she would have won. But if it's not that, and if it's just her belief that's holding her back, then there's no point having the thing to begin with. So I don't really know that this was written by the same person as the person who wrote the second half of the film.
I think it's supposed to be like a...
Why the fuck would they be keeping... Like, I just watched this again for the third time. But, like, why, as, like, an army who's trying to get shit done, when you have this ridiculously OP weapon that can just, like, 1v9 your entire fucking top squadron, like, why are you repressing her powers? If you, like, believe that you have her, like, under control, which is kind of, like, they kind of do, I guess. Like, why wouldn't you be like, okay, go do the super thing that you, like, it just makes no sense.
Well, the whole, like, the suppression thing on the back of her neck, too, kind of doesn't work in terms of just the technology this race has as well, which I had a bit of a problem with. So, like, they get on the ship here, and they're going to go get a spy with some stupid name. It was, like, Sorel or something like that. Great brand of boots, though, Sorel. So they go to the planet, and all of their comms are taken out immediately. So they have the ability to travel literally across time and space, but they can't, and they can suppress people's powers when it's been given to them by, like, legitimately otherworldly objects. But then they can't master radio control.
You're asking the wrong questions, Vex.
Maybe I'm asking the right questions. Who knows?
No, you are.
Well, the other question is, you have this incredibly valuable asset in Captain Marvel, Plank, whatever we want to call her, and you have to keep her suppressed because, you know, you're lying to her. Her entire existence here is a lie. So why are you sending her out on military expeditions where if she falls into the wrong hands, immediately everything falls apart? Like, what is even their plan in having her around? What are they doing with her?
I would assume they're just trying to sway her to their side as we kind of see towards the feet. I don't know. I really don't know.
Feet. They want her feet. That's what it is.
Hey,
that's true.
Yeah.
The stupid mohawk. What's with that? Why did they have to put that in?
Oh, that's when she puts her mask on. Yeah.
Or yes, the mask. That'll be relevant later.
Yeah.
Go back to what you said, Vex, like the technology, and then when she's on what they call it, Earth C-53, is that what they called it?
Yeah.
We can't get there for 22 hours. But yet you can travel across other galaxies and get there almost like
immediately. They have the jumping technology from Guardians.
And yet they want to find a light speed engine, which is in every conceivable way worse than the jumping technology.
Infinitely worse.
There's a whole problem with this scene as well, where they try to go get the spy or whatever. So, like, they get in, they understand that Skrulls can take the form of other people. Like, this is well known to them. They know that there's going to be a potential ambush, and even with all of that, they still go ahead and just confront, like, 50 of these guys with, like,
right up front,
and just happen to take down all of them. So there's, like, a complete... He's telling her to control her emotions at the beginning of the movie, but then this guy clearly doesn't know what the fuck he's doing as a squadron leader. He's leading them into their death.
Well, the Skrull should have won in this scene, so I don't know if we've skipped past or if it's one coming up, but there's the bit where one of them, undercover, comes up behind the woman with the sniper rifle. Yeah. He's in disguise, and rather than just taking her out, and if he takes her out, then everybody else survives as well, he talks to her for no conceivable reason.
Yeah,
I was thinking the
You've
same
already
thing.
got the advantage. Just shoot the fucker and you win.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, that whole scene was useless. What was the point of that?
This is what I was
just
doing.
to
the
show
whole,
that
when
they
I was-
can take different forms. They're literally just showing you everything, so they don't have to do the explanation.
Yep.
Because they're introducing so many new things into the MCU, so it's just I really feel like part of
It's
this was
faster.
written by AI. Like, was this an AI movie before we were more aware of
told
AI?
about AI.
It was
Yeah.
definitely 100%. It was definitely written by two different writers who were not talking at all.
I feel like it feels like one of those productions that, like, day to day, they were like, "What are we doing today?" And some writer had to come in and be like, "This," and they just piece it all together.
They just don't have a shot list.
Just throwing shit at a wall and going, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this.
It's interesting you say that though, because when I was looking
Feels
at the
that way.
trivia for this movie it was announced in 2014, and then the official reveal was in like 2016 at a Comic-Con or whatever when they revealed that Brie Larson was going to be Captain Marvel. But this was shot after Endgame finished shooting,
Yeah.
which is kind of
Weird.
weird. Yeah, so you can definitely tell just by that they really did just throw this together for the sake of trying to do something.
This is the last time that you hear faster, stronger, higher.
Higher, further, faster.
Fire
Yeah.
faster. Let's show these boys what can be done.
Nah, they're gonna say it in
Yeah.
the new one, 100%.
Oh God, yeah. This is
With
where you get like
Rambo.
another mini flashback of her. What was this chick's name again? Rambo. I forgot what her first.
Marie
Marie,
Rambo,
yeah.
and then the
Which-
daughter was in the sequel,
Monica
Monica
Rambeau.
Rambo.
There you go.
I
Photon Rambo.
I love how much this movie just speed runs character
Dude.
development.
It's-
This
it
is
makes
quite
no
literally the equivalent of throwing a hot pocket in the microwave and then taking it out. The outside seems pretty hot, but the inside is just still
a
stone
mess.
cold. Like it
Yeah.
is not. This movie was not ready.
I might even go as far as to say that this little device, the memory machine they have it hooked up to, is probably worse narratively than the memory store in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Because at least in Multiverse of Madness, it only shows one scene to understand one thing about a character who's not all that important in the grand scheme of things. But this is our introduction to our protagonist and the person they want to lead the MCU going forward. And it's in a series of flashbacks that last about 90 seconds, during which you learn that men are dicks and she always stands up.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
has a friend. And that's it. Also, the daughter doesn't age in 6 years. We also find that out.
Little small details. I tell
The
you.
other problem too is like this is supposed to be a whole empowerment thing, and all of the flashbacks just show her getting into scenarios that kids would just fucking get into, like falling down
just
or
being
accident-
kids.
Right. But they try to pose that as like she's weak and she never has reached, she's not strong, and I'm just like, this bro, that's like saying me getting a paper cut is like the patriarchy is after me or some shit like that. It
is.
doesn't
It
make
is.
any sense for trying to build a backstory for her, and it just kind of supports this wooden. I think she's a good actress. Okay, that's my hot take. I think Brie Larson is a good actress. She does what the script asks her to do in this, and that is have a wooden performance with no character whatsoever, and she aces that.
She's very boring in this movie.
Also, specifically in this scene, and also the high intelligence or whatever scene where she's talking to him. The editing is so bad that I just had to look away. Because there's
really
just
bad.
there's no J or L cuts. It's just all just solid cuts between the audio and the visuals that we don't get any time to see Carol react to anything that the Supreme Intelligence is
Supreme
saying.
Intelligence telling her, yeah.
So it's just blah 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 cut blah, 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 cut but the end.
Well, can I just comment on what Neil said? Brie is a good actress. She's been in good things. I agree. She has been in good things. But so is a lot of the actors in the Marvel movies. That just says that the direction and the dialogue and everything that's being told to these actors, I'm assuming, because that's the way it's coming out, is shit.
That's what
Like,
happens
this
when
is-
you have a woman. Right
Yeah,
You're
like...
It's
yeah,
produced
like-
terribly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's put together terribly. And like Platoon said, it was like from the first 2 minutes of the movie, you knew, like, this is going to be bad. And yeah, doesn't disappoint.
Honestly,
And we're not-
still at this point, I was still with it. not thoroughly with it, but like the messaging wasn't too like over the top, and I thought like for a Marvel movie, I was like, yeah, this is fine. It doesn't really get horribly offensive until she gets to Earth.
Even then, I feel like it's actually pretty subtle with most of the messaging, because I know everyone, like, this was one of the movies that kind of like everyone noticed all the political points and whatnot, but compared to a lot of the stuff we're getting now, it's kind of subtle, like, because even just the first half of this movie, I was like, what, like, it was just kind of boring.
Is what it
and
is,
then, yeah, you're right. In the second half, it does seem like there's someone else there, because then they introduce the whole, like, the refugees subplot, and then they introduce the whole misogyny subplot, because for some fucking reason, except for Nick Fury, everyone is just a misogynist in this world, which is kind of weird. But it's not as in your face as most of the other, like, if you were paying attention to this, you pick up on it.
So there's like, I don't know. I'm not sure I'd agree that it's subtle. I think it's just a bit monomaniacal. Whereas like most modern films will have a number of different political messages they want to drum home. This one just has one really, which is that women are great and men suck. I wouldn't call it subtle when you have the flashback sequence when she's go-karting, she crashes, and the dad tells her off, and she says, "But you let him drive," and he's like, "Well, you don't belong out here." Or the guy who comes and says, "You know why they called it a cockpit."
I know why they call it a cockpit.
That's not subtle. I don't think. That's just like. Yeah.
I'm trying to be positive, man. I'm trying to be positive.
Well,
not allowed.
You won't win, Vex.
Did you? I don't know if you guys watched Stallone's documentary on Netflix yet.
No, I want to.
But he talks about how when he was doing Rocky and how he was constantly editing throughout the movie and putting in lines and trying to be like create more character development and create more for Adrian that would fit the scene, because in his eyes it was based like a love story. That's what he was saying. It was a love story, and he didn't even recognize it when he was making the movie, but he was creating more depth for each character throughout the movie to make the movie better. This movie is completely opposite. I think they were doing this movie and they just said, well, let's put this in, let's add this in here, let's like this will add more. It's just a bunch of crazy ideas thrown in throughout this movie that they think is going to fit. It's a disaster.
Yeah, and this is where she starts realize. Well, yeah, she gets out of the whatever fucking machine she's in because of her powers, and she's got these glowing hands and these devices, and she just basically, this is the leader of the what the fuck was their race called again?
The Skrulls?
The Skrulls. God damn it.
Who should be trying, because they're refugees, so he should be trying to reason with her right now, except he's constantly taunting her throughout this entire experience.
Yeah.
Also, the machine that can read minds, for some reason, can't detect when the person is becomes conscious again. So, and to check that, they tap her head. Mind blowing to me.
Whatever you did works.
But it's supposed to be funny. You're supposed to laugh.
Yeah. But anyway, she just kicks the shit out of everybody that comes her way with these things and her glowing hands, and she can't get them off, right? She's trying to shoot them off, and eventually that does work, but yeah, she's
just an alternative scene. They've captured her, they bring her to the ship, and rather than trying to mind rape her, Director Krennic says, "Look, everything's a bit different than you think. We're really desperate. We need to talk. Just hear me out. Please just hear me out for 5 minutes. And that's all I'm asking. Then you can kill me if you want to." And lo and behold, it turns out that might work, because he's fundamentally a good person with a just cause. But he acts like a villain throughout the entire first half of the movie, even to the point of, being a cliche cat-stroking villain. Yeah. And it's like, why are you doing this? This is completely contrary to what your character is going to go on to be, and it's the worst possible thing you could be doing.
Right.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, they must have really messed up your brain up there, didn't they?" And it's like, what are you doing? Like, you should negotiate with her. Come on. And then when she's leaving, he just decides to shoot at her, and it's like, okay.
They're going to subvert the fuck out of your expectations.
True.
A bit later where they say we have to capture them dead or alive. It's like, no, you have to capture them alive. That's your entire plan. What are you doing? Why are you shooting at them? Why do you try to assassinate her 3 separate times across the first half an hour of the film? What is your character?
No.
Yeah.
I noticed as well, like, once we get into the second half of the film, all of the characters seem to just have the same personality. Like, they all have the exact same sense of humor. They all seem to view the world the exact same way. Any possible development that was set forth by him just being an asshole in this first half is just gone to reinforce that whole refugees subplot line and give Captain Marvel some kind of purpose, because that's the other thing. It's supposed to be like a whole like self-discovery and journey film, but there's no purpose because she can just do everything. Like even in this first fight sequence, there's no like, she's not really taken by anyone. She's not even stunned by anyone. Even though she's still suppressed, she takes out like 20 guys. Also, this didn't make any fucking sense because first of all, the hole she blew in the ship on the other end is no longer there, but somehow the other end of the ship where she never was is exploding now.
Exploding, yeah. He's got some real magical powers, man.
And it's shaped like a penis. It's shaped like a penis, by the way.
Naturally.
Keep in mind that she blew a hole in the ship with her power fists. Just keep that in mind for later.
Yeah, it's just fucking. Yeah, here we go. There's the hole. And then this is where she crashes. Sorry, go ahead.
She crashes, and all the debris you see falling down with her just isn't in this scene, so it's just her now. But it's when it starts breaking other bits of the MCU as well, and quite badly breaking other bits of the MCU, because you might remember in the first Avengers film when Hulk asks Nick Fury why they're making weapons using the Tesseract, and Nick Fury says, because of this guy, pointing to Thor, because last year we learned that we are not alone in the universe and we are outgunned. Last year. This happens fucking 20 years earlier. He has to forget about all of this. Earth can't pick up any of the discarded tech that we see littering this film across it. Whenever a ship gets destroyed, knocked out of orbit, nobody sees it, nobody picks any of it up, nobody uses it to advance technology. The film can't actually exist in the time period it's taking place in because we know that it doesn't impact anything else. And yet that's what they want us to believe. And I also can't help but notice the final point is that they're already at Earth. So why are they after a lightspeed engine? It takes 100,000 years to go at light speed across one galaxy, and they've done it in the space of a scene transition. You already have all the tech you need. Stop it.
And even the SHIELD acronym, which I think it was in like the first Thor movie, maybe.
It's the first Iron Man film.
Iron Man.
There we go. It's like, oh, we're workshopping it. We don't have a name for it yet. But then here, like Nick Fury, every time he shows his badge, like SHIELD agent, SHIELD agent, SHIELD agent. I'm like,
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
And the idea in the idea in Iron Man is that SHIELD was relatively new.
Yes.
That's or at least the making the acronym was relatively new. So
it was nice seeing a blockbuster again, though.
But she ruined it by shooting.
She did destroy
Arnold poster, man. She destroyed the patriarchy.
I love that she finds something that looks human, or at least looks like a living being, and she decides to shoot it immediately.
Yep. Oh, with
but
the poster,
he doesn't shoot the security guard here. Is the other?
It could be a Skrull. It could be a Skrull, though.
It could be.
This guard could. Yeah.
He could be.
Yeah.
I like the song that's playing in his car when he rolls the window down. It's that old 90s, like, what a man, what a man, what a mighty guy. I'm just like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Salt and Pepper? Is that
Salt and Pepper? That's you're right. I was like, Jesus.
Here come all the remember that?
Remember that song?
I also like how he acts. He's like very suspicious of her. He can barely talk to her.
Yeah.
But he decides to call the police in the morning, instead of right now.
Yeah, he just waits.
He even basically gives her the okay to just break into a radio shack. Because how did she get all that tech? He's just sitting there watching her break into a place right now. And it takes the cops however long to get there because it's daylight by the time they get to the blockbuster.
I love the fact that these surfers, they see the surfers, but the surfers don't see them.
Don't see them.
Nobody sees
nobody. No one sees these green people walking out of the water.
No one saw a giant alien spaceship penis destroyed in the sky. They didn't.
That's true.
Just switching to other people. Oh my god. Yeah. Look, she makes a gadget to contact her
out of a fucking Game Boy.
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't know that could do that?
But like, like the
This
fact
doesn't
that she
make any
knows what a
sense.
Game Boy is, that she knows what a phone is, she can hack a phone with a Game Boy to call across the galaxy. Like,
No sense
what?
at all.
It's
What?
terrible. It's
How do
They
you
really tried to
reverse
push-
engineer technology?
Yeah.
How do you do this?
There's
They're
like
pushing
nothing
women
in
in
a
the
Game
STEM
Boy.
field.
That's what's fucked. Like, yeah.
What's even better is there's just a bunch of like things that just happen for the sake of the plot moving forward. So even though she's been gone from Earth for 6 years, She knows what an internet cafe is. She knows what the internet is. She knows how to access the internet. But then there's a scene in the second half where like they're going through the black box, and they're just it's meant to be comedic relief, and they're just sitting there like, what's going on? It's like it's loading, and I'm like, and she's like, what do you mean it's loading? I'm like, bitch, you were
just use a computer.
Right, you were just at an internet cafe searching shit up. I don't understand how you're not putting 2 and 2 together right now.
Yeah, and they try to play it off by her typing really slow with like two fingers on the keyboard, like, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. I'm like, well, clearly she does, because you're right. For somebody who doesn't remember anything about Earth, she uses that computer pretty damn well.
She seems to do a lot of things really well. She's able to hotwire a motorcycle and steal that as well.
Yeah. Well, that was a man. She got that from a nasty man. So.
Oh, okay. So it's okay. We can accept that kind of plot.
Because he called her honey, so she had to show him by stealing his bike.
Well, all the funding for the STEM field finally paid off for women.
This might be a hot take. Maybe the ladies in the chat will agree or disagree with me. But I love it when random people call me honey or sweetie or dear.
No, it's part of the patriarchy.
It makes me feel pretty when random people do that. So
me too.
Come to the South.
Bagface.
Settle down there, honey boo boo.
I call Bagface honey all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I call you Pops.
See, exactly. I call me Pops. I go, what's Pops? He goes, you're like my father. I go, oh, it's a compliment or it's not.
He starts calling you daddy. We're gonna.
Wow, that's when I fly to Canada. No, anyway.
No. You don't want to come up here.
I know I don't. Yeah, this is where the agents show up, and this guy is like just staying there the whole night. The guard just sleeping in his car. Yeah, she's. Oh God, there we go. And they get a de-aged Sam Jackson, which I don't know. What'd you think of the de-aging in this? Actually, I didn't think it was that. It was pretty good.
Bad.
It's pretty good.
Also, I didn't realize this while watching it.
Yes.
Why the fuck did they send? Like, is Sam Jackson just supposed to be a normal cop right now?
No, he's part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, he's part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He's part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So did S.H.I.E.L.D. know that she fell from space and it took them 6 hours to get there? Or
that's the assumption, yes.
That's the assumption.
Which is really, like, if you... So do they know that there's spaceships in space then? Because
apparently not.
No,
but
they're always watching, Bake. They're always watching.
They
Bake.
just know.
Always
that
watching.
So many holes.
All they know is that she's wearing a superhero suit.
So
yeah.
In my reading
That's
of it, it was the security guard who called somebody, and they heard about someone crashing through the roof of a blockbuster, and S.H.I.E.L.D. turned up because they thought it sounded kind of interesting. But they don't believe that she came from space, because that's a big point going forward. But she's an absolute dick to him for their first probably 2 or 3 exchanges. And it's such an interesting way that you're inserting this new character that you want everyone to like in the late stage of a long story amongst other characters we do know and like, and you make her an absolute dick to someone we do like. That's not a way to encourage us to like your new character. Just don't write things that way.
Yeah, it's true.
Who's this movie written by?
A woman.
A woman.
Oh, really?
Two women, I think.
That's why it's all over the place.
Oh.
Even when they were looking for directors for this film, like it's all just a bunch of women I've never heard of. Like there's a list of about a dozen female directors they tried to pin to this movie.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure we'll find that out during the trivia.
Just on this scene very quickly, just imagine in an alternate universe their plan had been successful, because on top of that, where that explosion, before the explosion was there was a guy trying to snipe Captain Marvel. Now, if that had succeeded, they're all fucked.
The movie's over. Everybody go home.
Yeah.
Actually, it would have saved people a lot of pain from watching the next hour and a half.
Not once, but twice she could have got killed.
But then you have to she has to show off.
They're the
power.
good guys.
Yeah. You see her ability, and then there's a nice little chase, between her and the bad guy.
My God.
I searched the writers, and there's 6 women and 1 guy.
7 writers?
The 2 head women have not touched a fucking thing since Marvel. Since Captain
Wow.
Marvel. They have
Doug, could you see why?
Honestly,
one of them's doing Bambi.
Deserved.
So Bambi.
That's not what I thought you were going to say, Beg. They have not touched a fill in the blank.
A penis.
Probably that too.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why anyway, so you get this fucking stupid train scene. I don't know, man. Like, nothing about this movie was... I'm saying, like, even the action scenes are fucking dull. I'm just like, I checked out.
I thought the scene was okay.
She's invincible. Ah, Stanley.
Stanley,
Never mind.
yeah, a little
The
cameo.
movie became 10 out of 10 for 3 seconds.
Just for a second. I like that little smirk she gives.
Post
Yeah, and then she's
Stan Lee. It's just this was the last movie he was in, wasn't it?
Yep. Before
Yes.
Yep.
That
Yeah,
poor man.
that's
That poor man.
Because this film is dedicated to Stan Lee as well.
Yeah.
Oh God.
At the very beginning. Thank you, Stan. I'm like, no,
Right.
don't fucking do that.
That's just as bad as Snyder dedicating the Justice League to his suicide.
No. That Ahsoka. This is dedicated to Ray Stevenson, and it's like,
Stop it.
Honestly, if they dedicated Into the Spider-Verse to Stan Lee, that would have been way better. Because that movie was actually good.
So she realizes that this old lady is disguised and punches her in the face, and then the fight breaks out. So it's funny too because the people are trying to hold her back because of this. She's fighting an old lady, right? But yet the old lady's literally doing flips, circling around things. Like, and it's like, okay, well, is nobody noticing that she's like literally flying around for a 90-year-old woman, whatever the hell she is? But whatever, I guess.
Ageism, bro.
Ageism.
Yeah, and then this guy publicly changes into another guy, but that's their whole thing, that they can switch and be in camo, but everyone saw it happen.
Yeah.
The other bit is that he drops a memory crystal on the floor of the train, which is the only way that our hero knows where to go next. Because for some reason,
convenient.
Yeah, I don't know why they even did that. Why do you have to store her memories on a crystal that you can conveniently drop? Is there no better way you can write her to one? It's like the map again. Having Ahsoka having been mentioned, the droid head that gets like sliced off at the end of episode 2. Like, why are you still there? That's because if you weren't still there, the heroes would be fucked. But there are other ways you could have written yourself into that position.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the few positives is already happened, I think, where dude's on top of the tram there and he touches a part, gets shocked by it because he doesn't know the technology of the planet that he's on, and it's just. That was kind of nice to see. Yeah, I mean, of course, she would have figured out not to touch it, but
of course, because she's a woman.
I thought the choreo in the train's not bad too.
It was
like
okay,
she's flipping around and doing ridiculous shit. It makes no sense, but it's interesting to look at.
Why is it that two people were able to, or two guys were able to stop her from punching like mid punch, but then she was able to toss both of them off like with ease?
She's Captain Marvel, man.
Yeah, I mean, but. They stopped her mid-punch somehow.
Stop questioning it, Whitey. You're being sexist.
Whitey, you're part of the patriarchy, man.
Right.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah. She just beat up like 20 aliens like the night before in space that had weapons.
Back again.
And then this scene before is where Agent Coulson, they realize that's really not him in the car. It's one of the whatever the fuck they're called, and the bad guys who. And then
go back 1 second.
Yes.
That scene right there, that is Kelly Sue DeConnick. She's the writer for Captain Marvel and Marvel. And she's the biggest woke female empowerment person. She is like the biggest.
Couldn't tell.
I'm going to be polite.
She's
but
the person.
No, Jay. This is.
She's a cunt.
You're among.
Yeah, she is. She is. She is a massive cunt. She sits there and brags about Marvel Comics are doing fantastic when the sales are plummeting, and all females are like, she's with like Heather Antos, and she fails upwards somehow.
She said, she's the one that said, if you don't like my politics, don't buy my books. And then
guess what?
Their book sales tanked. So
yeah.
Saw how that turned out.
The Joker just said here. Yeah. Funny how that works, huh?
I like
the biggest douchebag ever. Sorry, bag.
Sorry, go back one more.
Yes, ma'am.
Just to make sure that we know where we are, they got like the only 2 Hispanic people I can see in the shot are just like fucking Chino and then a housekeeper.
Bring in the cholos.
You got to represent.
Can't imagine showing up to a fucking shoot and you're like an extra and they're like, okay, we got your costumes, and everybody's in like normal clothes. And they're like, oh, Enrico, come over here for a sec, bro.
We're gonna make you look like
the top of your shirt. Button the top of your shirt.
Make sure you wear the LA.
Like you're right out of colors.
Wear the LA Dodgers cap because that really sells it, buddy, and walk slowly.
Like true empowerment. I'm gonna need you to dress like you're coming out of Taco Bell, where your people naturally come from.
What's up, Hesse?
You look like a space woman or something, Hesse.
Yes, nice outfit. Oh yeah, everybody's looking at her strange, of course, because she's, I don't know, she looks like she's just wearing some weird shit. And then I liked how this is the one scene I actually didn't mind, where how he gets out of the situation where he throws his car in front of a bus or something, and it kills the.
It was like an actual Nick Fury moment. You can tell that's like
that
the
part
one
was
scene
cool.
the dude directed.
Yeah, that part was cool. There's no ass Larson, just sitting chilling. And then is this where she puts the crystal in her little mechanism? I think.
Poncho.
Poncho.
What is Cholo?
Who rides a Pegasus? Well, depends on who you ask.
Why is she? Because okay, so she had some of her memories brought up in the beginning when she was hanging upside down, but from everything that's happened thus far, it's kind of implied that she doesn't really comprehend what she was seeing. So where does this Pancho's bar thing come from? Like there isn't a moment where you just see her kind of like reconcile with some of the memories that were brought up. She
just one of the flashbacks though set in that bar.
It
and
is.
so she just goes to.
You don't see the name pop up like in the flashback. So it just, and then somehow she knows how to read an Earth map as well, even though all
she's
her
a
memories
woman,
are gone.
Vex. She's
So
special.
women can't read maps, bro. Like
this is your favorite part. This is everybody's favorite part of the movie, where the
It's
guy
the best
rolls
character
up.
in the whole scene. The biggest hero in this film is now on screen here. It's the
He
Don.
rolls up and he's like, why don't you smile for me, honey? And I'm just like, oh god, they had to do this. I don't remember this scene when I first watched this movie. It tells you how much.
Well, I was really disappointed. The one I watched on Disney Plus doesn't have the extended version they released, thinking that it somehow made her character look better. But actually, it just turns her into an absolute psychopathic twat.
It's like a reflection of the Henry Cavill scene where the dude in the bar pisses him off, so he puts his fucking life's work through a telephone
he
pole.
ruins his livelihood.
Yeah.
that's different though. It's Henry Cavill, so it's
oh wait, hold on. Now. Come on. Come on, man.
But like when I was rewatching this is probably maybe that's why, because the version I watched too felt like it was missing a bunch of scenes. Like I remember there distinctly being a bar scene where you see Carol get confronted by some men like while playing pool, and there's a whole like, oh, men are just misogynist kind of deal. But that, I guess that didn't make the like non
the stuff that's in the trailers but isn't in the movie.
They don't always put it in the movies. But yeah, Platoon's right. There is an extended version that does add more, especially in that scene, and it does make her look more like
because she breaks his hand because he asks her to smile. But the hilarious thing about that was that obviously when the film first came out, there was the usual discourse, and lots of people were shitting on the film. So lots of people defended the film, and one of the defenses of the film was she doesn't hate men. She's not a psychopathic killer. Look, all she's doing is responding to sexual harassment. And then they released the extra scene voluntarily, which completely rubbishes every point the defenders of the film were making.
Yeah, unbelievable, man.
Well, this character is so much like Rey from Star Wars. It's sickening. When I was watching it today, I was just like, oh man, they just zero depth to these characters.
I appreciate the prosthetic that they used for the Skrull here instead of CGI.
It did look cool.
It did look good. Cool. Yeah.
What do you think of the CGI overall in this movie compared to what we get now?
Sam's de-aging is fucking
it wasn't bad.
Flawless.
Yeah, really.
Oh, he's great.
He's pretty good. The
most
cat
of it was
CGI, the cat CGI is pretty good. Yeah. It gets bad at the end during the final fight.
Well, because he does stupid shit.
Because Carol looks hideous.
I think they had to
CGI
rush that
suit.
ending, didn't they? Because I think they had a different ending. I can't remember what the fuck it was, but they had a different ending for this movie, and it ended up being the same ending as another superhero movie that just came out before this. I think a DC movie, so they had to change it. So that's why it looks like ass.
Wonder Woman?
I don't know if it was the same.
Did they copy Wonder Woman?
I wouldn't be
surprised.
Is it Ben Mendelsohn? That's his name,
Yep.
right? He's fucking so good. Like he actually makes every scene that he's in this movie like bearable. I don't know what it is. He's just such a good actor.
They actually just waste him though in the second half.
They do.
Again, it just devolves into every character is the same character.
Go
in
watch
the second
Secret
half.
Invasion. This thing is like a cakewalk.
Oh,
it's true,
dude.
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is where we find Fury's boss is actually one of them.
Ben Mendelsohn, when he's evil, is so enjoyable.
Dude, he's great.
He's evil in Rogue One. He's the best character in that movie. He's so enjoyable.
Yeah. Yes.
He's so
he
menacing for like a 5'8" little British dude.
He's intimidating.
He is.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, yay. This is where we get her on her stolen bike, riding to a bar.
That she somehow knows how to ride.
She knows how to ride.
She somehow knows how to get there. And then when she goes him...
a bike?
Nick
and
Fury's
doesn't run out of
already
gas.
there. But the logistically weird thing is that Nick Fury, or based on nothing more than a report of a motorbike theft, knows exactly which bar to go to and gets there first.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that works, but apparently it does.
Has anyone ridden a bike?
No.
Like
Yes.
Like a
not a
motorbike.
motorbike,
Not a
but like
motorcycle.
bicycle.
Dude, you're switching gears with your hands and your feet.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way you could figure that shit out on the fly. It's like so hard. Yeah.
Oh, but it's repressed memories, you see, because she knows how to fly fighter planes later on because she used to do that even though she forgot all about it. So she just remembered. It's muscle memory is what it is.
Muscle memory.
Well, not only that, she's like 90 pounds soaking wet, and that bike, like how can she control the bike with the weight of that bike? Because that's probably a 1250, maybe cc bike.
That bike was built for
yeah,
the
exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
Full men patriot. Yeah, you're right. So this is where, Nick Fury just pops up out of nowhere, and they have a nice little conversation about where they're from. She gives him like an interrogation as to how to tell that he's not a bad guy.
Yeah,
one of the bad
none
people.
of that works at all.
Yeah, no.
So he prove it. Tell me something that a Skrull couldn't know, but that you couldn't know that either because you don't know who he is. So he could just say anything.
He could just be making all of this up.
Okay, I thought I was the only one that was like, this doesn't work.
This doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't work the other way either, because then when he asks her to prove that she's not a Skrull, and she blasts the poor bartender's jukebox, which is going to pass over because it doesn't matter. But like Nick Fury doesn't know what a Skrull is. For all he knows, they could do that too. None of that scene works.
No.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, and also Kree can't do that. Like Kree can't shoot laser beams
out of their fucking hands. No. And of course, they're noble warrior. Yeah, she goes into her background and who she is, and they're noble warrior heroes, people. And then
I hate that so much.
Oh god, it's so fucking cringy. Yeah.
And bearing in mind, at the moment, Nick Fury is still not convinced that she's on his side, because later on, when they're at the top secret base, he messages for help because he doesn't trust her, or because he says detained with target, send backup. So his plan is, I'm with someone I don't know I can trust. She tells me she wants this light speed engine, whatever the fuck that is. I'm going to take her into the top secret science facility and then call for backup.
Yeah.
As opposed to calling for backup because you already knew she was going to that bar somehow.
Yeah. Well, that's using logic, Platoon. This the writers didn't think of that, but yeah. Who was the one? Andrew, was it you and Backface last night? We're talking about the flannel. He tells her to take off the flannel. You're like, how the fuck would she even know?
Yeah,
that's such a
what that is.
specific Earth thing.
Yeah.
But the 9-inch nail shirt that wouldn't be a giveaway.
That doesn't give it away.
No.
Nah, flannels are a multicultural thing throughout the universe. My favorite scene is when Thanos is wearing a flannel when he talks to Loki in Avengers. It's my favorite scene.
Yeah. Very universal, like you said. It's very comforting for people. Yeah, and then they're stuck in this.
It's like Uggs.
Yeah. And then So yeah, he has the pager, foreshadowing for later in the movie. And then they're bullshitting, talking about some stupid. So he has an idea to get out by copying a fingerprint and putting it on the machine. And she's watching, just smirking the whole time. Because, she could have got them out of there with her magic hands in 5 seconds, but she let him have his moment. She even tells him that later on, like, I didn't want to break, I'm like,
except that if you're breaking into a top secret facility and you want to keep some semblance of cover and you might want to get out without being tracked, maybe blasting huge holes in the wall, which might set alarms off, is not the way to go about that.
Right. That is very true. That is very true. Oh, God. Is this where the cat comes in? Yeah, the cat finally shows up.
Yeah, the Flugen?
Flugen. Yeah.
Flurkin?
Flurkin, sorry.
Sorry. All right, listen.
The best part of the movie, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. This is where she pulls out the information about what they were working on, and of course he's like, I don't know, she was crazy, and she's like, no, that's a language that I'm like, oh my, I really was just fucking like, please end it. Every 5 minutes I was telling Vex, I was checking to see how much longer this movie had.
I was laughing at this particular moment though, because they've gone for the top secret information and they say it's redacted, except for a photo of me, a photo of my best friend, an interview with my best friend,
and the address to my best friend's home.
Just everything.
Yeah. It's like Scooby-Doo mysteries. Holy Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, and then she gets all the information she needs, kind of what she needs, and then she sees like you said, the photos of her friend. Oh God, more flashbacks, and then just more phone calls. And Jesus Christ, it's a lot of nonsense that's just happening here. Oh, she hotwired the phone to contact her people.
Didn't even need a whole Radio Shack. Now
Didn't need a Game Boy. She didn't need a Game Boy back then. No.
Nope. It was unnecessary. She's smart enough to do it without it.
Jesus.
Isn't this a government facility? How is she hacking into a phone that easily?
Well, that's
because she's like Ray. She can do everything. She is woman. Hear me roar.
Yeah.
Literally, we see her roar later. Actually,
yeah, and in the beginning, she did too.
Yeah.
Isn't this the scene in the elevator where he's suspicious of his boss because he calls him Nicholas or something? Or
otherwise, this is the scene where Nick Fury actually dies in a sensible film, because that's that's director Krennic's whole idea is he wants to get in. He doesn't really care about not killing too many people, and he needs to get down to plank. So why, it's like the sniper scene from earlier. You're in a lift with someone who doesn't yet know exactly what you are. Just kill him, and you'll be fine. But instead, Fury says, "Oh no, we'll do the thing like we did in Hungary or wherever the fuck it was," and he just lets him get out of the elevator, which allows him to come back in and ruin things later on. Everyone in this film is dumb.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, see. And then we just keep scrolling. Oh yeah, this is the scene isn't this where he tells her we're on our way to find you, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll be there soon." And then
22 hours. We'll be there in 22
hours. And then they have this fight scene here in the records area that comes up here, and this is fucking so stupid. Yeah, here we go. Nick gets his ass kicked by the boss guy.
Well, Agent Colton doesn't shoot. He just lets him go for whatever reason.
He was his gut. He was his gut. Is what he said. He had a feeling.
It's rare. It's rare to see that with a new agent.
Look, there's glowing hands again. It's Andrew's favorite part, the glowing hands.
Iron Fist, baby.
Yeah, just breaking shit through. Look at that.
Stop talking.
Holes.
Don't bring up Iron Fist.
There we go. Yeah, this is the scene you were talking about.
His de-aging's pretty good too.
Yeah.
It's done fairly well for the most part. Yeah.
So you guys were really on board with the de-aging, like of Samuel L. Jackson and all that.
It looked better than some other movies.
The hair was off.
Disney's ever done.
Yeah. I just watched, that movie Loaded Weapon, and Sam Jackson's in a suit the whole time. I feel like, can you not, steal his face from that whole time of him being in a movie, to maybe help kind of slim his face down and not make it look like he's wearing a skin mask,
And here's one of Platoon's favorite parts. She just remembers how to fly a plane in 10 seconds. She knows how to ride a motorcycle and know how to fly a big plane just like that.
She bypassed the character development.
How much funnier, like, the thing that bugs me about it too is, like, it'd be funnier if she tried to fly it and crashed, and then they have to think of a creative way to get out of the situation they're in.
Right.
Like, she's like, yeah, I can fly anything, and then just fucking can't. Be like,
that would have lined up
character
with her origin story better because she crashed a fucking plane to get her powers. So.
I also, I was thinking about this while I was rewatching this, right before the stream. There's, the moment where she finally gets her powers, unlocked to the fullest, and she can fly at the end. I was like, damn, how much more of a payoff, and how cool would it be if the entirety of her career, everything was so sexist that she literally couldn't fly, she wasn't allowed to fly.
Well,
and then she finally
funny you
gets
should
to
mention
fly.
that. There is a bit where they try to set that up later when they come and they bump into, is it not Monica, the other Rambo, the mother,
Mary.
And she's explaining the backstory for the audience's benefit. And she says at that time, the military wasn't letting women fly combat missions. So instead, they let us fly the most top secret, ultra secret, scientific breakthrough device in the world ever. So they halfway got there because, there were no female combat pilots. But that would have been that would have tied in thematically more with the feminism angle, I guess. She wasn't allowed to do any of this stuff. She always dreamed of doing it. She was always held back from doing it. Not she was always held back from doing it, except that she was also allowed to fly the most sensitive military tech in the world.
Like, how the fuck does her... now that you bring that up, how does she have, like, an old white lady who also knows how to fly if, like, women still aren't allowed to fly?
Transgenders. There you go. Easy answer.
Fair. Those were very popular back in the 80s.
Wow.
Wow. Yep. Yeah, this is where
and she just knows how to fly into space. I don't know, like... So I'm a fucking science nerd. Like... It is very, very impossible to take a plane that can fly in the atmosphere and fly it into space.
No,
like the
because they gave us a scene. They gave us a scene where they were welding. They welded their way into space. That's how it worked.
Oh man, there was a brutal. There was a time. There was in high school. It was like a math class, and somebody had the audacity to like say, "Why don't we just take airplanes and just go to the moon?"
Yeah, that would work.
And then the teacher...
No one thought of that. Oh, fuck.
The teacher bullied that kid for the entirety of the semester.
Good. That's the way it should go.
Everyone in the class was just like, you are so stupid. You should not be an algebra.
Hold on a second. Vex,
I do think an awful lot of modern media's problems can be explained by the fact that the writers were not bullied enough at school. I think more bullying would have helped.
Yeah, Amelia Earhart tried that, and well, that's why we don't let women fly.
Vex, you were talking about this guy coming back into the plot.
Roden the Accuser, yeah.
Roden.
Yeah.
So I was like kind of on board with this because I thought he was a pretty like there was an interesting premise set forth with him in the first Guardians film, and because at that time we all knew that like every villain or whatever that's introduced, there's usually a bigger story that comes after it, right? But it's not like all we know is that he is higher up, but I don't. Like, I literally just watched this, and I don't remember why he was in on this whole thing. Also, they made him way less hotter than he was in the first Guardians film. Cause
They gave up on him,
which is
in the makeup.
Fucked,
Yeah,
because Lee Pace is a fucking god.
He's a gorgeous man. Yeah.
He
And
looks
also-
So I don't know how they
skinny
fucked
here.
that up. Yeah.
He looks shriveled.
I'm going to make a little side here. Did you guys ever see that video of when Mindy Kaling is talking about how she kissed him on the set of a movie?
I
even
put
though
that
it
in a
wasn't
Velma
scripted?
video, yes.
What happened?
What?
She out of character, out of like scene, just like was like, oh, I really wanted to kiss Lee Pace because he's so hot, so I just like threw a kiss in and then told him that if he made a big deal about it, I'd get him fired.
Wow!
Said this in an interview.
That sounds about right.
Like on
Didn't Lena Dunham do the same thing to Brad Pitt on the set of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's disturbing.
And she got roasted for that too, didn't she?
Yeah, because she also raped her little sister. So
Linda,
It's okay.
Mindy Kaling got a
Woman
show
does it.
from that shit. So
But he was fantastic in *Halt and Catch Fire*. That was a great show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is where we get to see Rambo and her little.
Her welding tools.
Yeah, she's very special.
They're so good at welding.
Oh, there we go.
no
There's
explanation
Monica.
as to why she's rich enough to own a fucking ranch that's big enough to have an airplane hangar, and she has her own airplane.
A
but-
ranch.
That's not
a
question.
Single
of
mother
equipment.
shit, single mother shit.
to be fair, this is Louisiana, and if we're talking the time period it
Louisiana.
is, property's pretty fucking cheap down
Yeah,
there.
that's like 10 G's, I guess.
Right.
So
Yeah, this
she's
is-
a single mom here, right?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, they're trying to get like
That'll be
Really
a joke.
playing into the
Single mom?
stereotypes.
Black single
Oh,
mom?
God.
What?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I was
not really
kinda-
a thing, but
I was kind of questioning the hairstyle. Like, why did they go with that hairstyle for that movie? But hey,
Lee Pace is gay?
Yes.
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 Hey, Platoon! Options opened up.
You just broke Vex's heart, made Platoon happy. There you go.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh,
I
imagine
think
if
didn't,
Henry Cavill
I
becomes
think
Not for
there was
everybody.
another scandal relating to him. I think Ian McKellen accidentally outed him, if I remember rightly. In an
I bet he
interview.
wanted to innie him.
gay
too.
drama?
Oh,
Yes, gay drama in Hollywood. Who would have thought?
Oh,
You can tell who doesn't interact with gay communities when they're like, whoa, gay drama? That's crazy.
Oh my god! Best comment of the night right there. Best
You outed me. I don't talk to gay people.
That's fantastic. Might have to clip that out later. Oh god!
Oh, fantastic!
So of course, her friend doesn't believe her, but she can turn a pot tea hot, and he's like, "Oh, she can do more than make tea hot."
Yeah, this is another thing that doesn't make sense. Is like she's been skeptical of people basically this entire movie thus far, and she has no recollection of what's going on. And then all of a sudden, she's totally okay with showing this random stranger her powers, even though there's supposedly a whole like bloodthirsty race after her or someone tech that she knows about. So, but because it's a woman, maybe that's why she feels safe.
Yeah.
No, it's because she can feel it in her bones. They know each other.
She feels something in her bones. Yeah, so they're trying to it is just the part where the friend starts having this tearful, you've been gone for 6 years. I miss my best friend.
They try to do that, but it doesn't come across very well. Like,
it doesn't work.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
It's like,
out of place.
I've missed you for 6 years, and you walk into my home, and you expect me to know who you are. And I was like, man, in a good movie, this would be a really cool line.
Awkward.
Like, bitch, I don't know who you are. Yeah, it didn't work at all. They tried the emotional angle, and it was like,
well, there's just no chemistry in the friendship
No.
whatsoever. That's the
Not at
bigger
all.
problem. Because they're running through things so quickly to try and get you to empathize with this character. But like, I don't understand why they're because they have nothing in common. This is a black single mother living in the middle of nowhere.
Careful.
Like,
Careful.
aside from skin color, there's nothing else in common there.
Besides from skin color, yeah.
Man, this is a really nice house. This is incredible.
Beautiful house.
Well, let's think about this. This movie's 2 hours. 2 hours and 4
2 hours
minutes.
and 7 minutes, yeah, something like that.
Okay. The new movie's 88 minutes long. So imagine how rushed they're going. Oh my god.
One joke
It's gonna be
fest
an
after another, and one joke, bad joke after another, and just quick cut scenes and just bullshit.
It also
this
it suffers from this weird thing that the MCU does, which is like it's the 90s, so it kind of makes sense that no one reacts to any crazy shit in the later Avengers movies, I guess, because everyone knows about gods and stuff. But like in the 90s, you're not like, whoa, my friend disappeared for 6 years and came back with superpowers and says that she was living with an alien species. They're just like having a normal conversation in her kitchen. She's not like fucking melting. Like,
To be fair, this is LA. Like, it started in LA at least.
Started in Los Angeles,
Yeah, but like it's everyone acts so casual. Like,
like when the little girl sees the fucking alien like shapeshift from her mom into an alien, she's like, oh my god,
your eyes are pretty. Is one of the lines.
Yeah.
Even
Really
Nick Fury throughout, whenever the alien thing has come up, is so nonchalant and casual about it. And it's like, this is set 20 years before the time when aliens and all the rest of that was supposed to be common knowledge, but it's written like a film that's set 20 years after the fact.
Yes.
Everyone here is just going through motions. Aliens? No, that's something new.
Cool.
Haven't seen that before.
I think people reacted more seeing a big robot suit in Iron Man than they did seeing an entirely new alien race in this movie.
Yeah. And then this guy, she questions this guy. Again, let's question the dude, but like we're okay with the female.
Yeah.
But yet the female has the daughter, or the alien Skrull. The Skrull has the daughter outside. And it's just be like, bitch, get your freaking senses better.
Yeah, her priorities kind of went the wrong way there, but this is also setting up false expectations for that child. Like if her mom's best friend can come back, is her dad gonna magically show up from the gas station with menthol?
Wow, good point though. That's beyond something. That's beyond.
That's Captain Marvel's real superpower. She can
True Disney movie.
Bringing dads back. Jay, you're right.
We killed Jay.
So like this conversation with Ben Mendelsohn's Skrull, I can't remember what his character's name is. Again, this is where the character flip happens, right? Because he was threatening her for the first half of the movie, and now he just has the exact same personality as her. He's there sipping a drink like he's been here forever. Basically. How does he know that they're here as well as the other thing? when did they figure this out? What Skrull technology do they have?
So I don't know if it's part of the same bit, but he will later explain that using actual subterfuge, which of course only happens off screen because these writers are incompetent, they found the black box from the crashed fighter jet, which was supposed to be redacted. And I would assume that from the information from the black box, they drew the connection to the Air Force Base and then found some files that showed that they were friends and so knew how to come here. But that is all an assumption. But the bigger question is, if you can use actual subterfuge and espionage, why has any of the preceding of the film happened? Like, you can shapeshift into anyone. You've just proven in this one line of dialogue that you can take the shape of anyone, you can infiltrate the high ranks of government, you can investigate things without anybody knowing you're there. You don't need to run through streets shooting laser guns at people to get where you want to go, if you can actually use your skills for genuine subterfuge and espionage. But they don't do that, again, because that would have been an interesting film.
Hold on. They've held on to this black box for like 6 years then? And
no, I think they got it during the course of this film. It was my read of the scene. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah, I think he's right. Yeah. They're just trying to... She's trying to sell it.
As when he was playing the boss dude,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is so fucking... Oh, yeah, then he's afraid of the cat because he knows what it really is, and haha.
God, I want to shoot this cat with a shotgun in the head.
Dude, it's so fucking annoying.
It was the best part of the movie, in all honesty. Just because it was...
Because it was a cat?
Yeah, it was. It's also a cat. Yeah.
Well, half the time it wasn't, and actually, this is the first time I noticed the difference. But we now know, thanks to the press stuff for the Marvels, whenever Brie Larson is holding the cat in this film, it's a CGI cat because she's allergic to cats.
Real cats.
Naturally, she's the ideal person to cast in a superhero film involving lots of cats.
Yeah,
a really, really good idea.
Maria's got some mad cake. I just
more cake than Cap.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's my boy. That's my boy, Bag. It's all about the cake. It's all about the cake. Yeah.
Christ,
can't hide that shit from me.
I can't take you anymore. Oh, look, CD-ROMs, old school.
Remember
that?
Blockbuster? Remember CDs?
Things would load for 10 minutes.
Yes. I don't know. It's just Marvel has played out these kind of jokes so much to me, that I can't even find it.
Yeah.
I mean, in any other movie, I actually probably would have found this a little bit funny, Back to the Future jokes or something like that, but I just don't.
Yeah. But like I said, she used a computer earlier, so why is she complaining about a disc loading now?
Because she's a fucking idiot. That's why.
The comedic relief doesn't work because, again, everyone has the same humor, so there's no contrast when a joke tries to get across. It doesn't hit at all because they all just think the same way for the rest of the movie.
And this is where she finally remembers, right? Because she's hearing everything and it's playing out in her head. And yeah, this is it. This is where she eventually gets her powers, right? She's got her mentor in the cockpit with her, and she's flying around, and she's like, "Oh, that's the enemy, and just keep flying." And you're like, "What the fuck is?" Anyway, they eventually crash, right? And then, she's telling her she has to blow up. What the fuck was the name of this device again? That she has to blow up.
It's a Tesseract.
No, the Tesseract is the thing that powers it, but this is just the Lightspeed engine.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The power core thing.
Power core, yeah, that's it. And she's like, basically, she has to destroy it. And she's like, why? Why do you have to destroy it?
If you come across something you've never seen before, why the fuck would you shoot it?
Right? Because she told her, Joe.
Or the royal family over here.
Yeah. But,
no
she's like, I've never seen blue blood before. And then she gives her her whole background on why she's here in a 30-second span and then dies. It's like, what
Expo dump.
So stupid. And your blood is blue. The goddamn blood is blue. But Bagface got it. Bagface got it.
Favorite movie.
I love that movie. Then she gets shot by Jude Law's character. And then
he doesn't shoot Captain Marvel for reasons.
Yeah, because she has to exist for the rest of the movie. Yeah.
By the way, this is where a better movie would have happened, in my opinion. Rewatching this, so he confronts her at this crash site, right? We have no idea how he managed to convince her or brainwash her or even just get her off of Earth to take her to the Kree planet or whatever, right?
Yep.
I think it would have been a far more interesting film, and you probably could have gotten a lot more women in the theater if it had just become some sort of demented brainwashing / brain grape film.
Jesus.
Just saying.
Maybe.
Saying.
Is this
But
wishful thinking
instead,
for you? Or?
we got light speed goo. So
Yeah.
that's an alternative explanation.
Yeah.
Light speed goo that knocks her unconscious, and then she gets transported, and then her mind gets sort of raped off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just have the idea that her entire power set comes from light speed goo, and that means that she can fly at the speed of light, as we learn at the end of the film.
Why does she shoot it? That's the thing. I'm like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
killing-
Why would you shoot something you
That's
don't
because
know?
what's her name said? I
Because
have to
Marvel
destroy it.
said that she was going to.
I have
so
to
she's
destroy
like,
it.
Well,
okay.
and
That's a
she
cute look.
accidentally gains powers from one of the Infinity Stones, and like Thanos never figured this out. Like no one in the universe ever figured out if you just shoot one of these things, it'll blow up and give you like god tier powers where you can almost. She almost 1v1s Thanos with the fucking gauntlet, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And yeah. Like, why was no one ever thought to try and do like? It's just an accident. This is just an accident that this happens. No one ever thought to do that.
And also, her powers do not correlate to the stone that she got her powers from. She got her powers from the Tesseract that holds the Space Stone.
Oh, Space Stone.
So if you get Space Stone powers, wouldn't you be able to teleport instead of shoot lasers? That sounds more like a Power Stone thing.
You would think, but
And also, last time we saw someone get shot with Tesseract powers, it was the Red Skull, and he got teleported to the opposite side of the universe.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Every time you ever see someone fucking like Guardians, like that one, what is it, the zookeeper dude, like his assistant touches the Power Stone, and she just gets like vaporized, and everybody gets blown up. But somehow Brie Larson is just a normal human, lucky enough to just get all
Just
the
survive it all.
positives from it, but none of the negatives.
Yeah. This is where we're supposed to get like an emotional scene of Brie coming out, realizing everything and who she was, and she's like,
It was so cringe.
Why did it was terrible.
There's
Again,
nothing
I don't even
emotional.
know who I am.
Yeah.
In one plus though, if this movie was made this year, all of this would be done on a volume, and I appreciate that it's not.
Oh,
it's nice
True.
to see trees in a
imagine.
Marvel movie.
Imagine if this was shot on the.
We're about to see it, Andrew. What you talking about? Imagine.
Oh,
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
This week.
Yeah. And then he's trying to convince her again, and you don't even know who I am, she says. It's like, kind of do.
The scriptwriters don't even know who I am.
You don't even know who I am. And it's just a lot of just nonsense back and forth. I'm like, okay, let's fucking move it along, people. Yeah, oh, she got that mean mug.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's a good look. That's attractive, Jay. That's what you like, huh?
Yeah.
That's somebody that wears a 9 Inch Nails shirt.
Yeah. Fake tears.
By the way, like, is she not like? Where'd she get a bra and all this? Like, I don't understand. Like, there's like she just puts on a shirt and jeans.
The mannequin had everything she would ever need for the rest of her
Yeah,
life.
it just
The mannequin that she brought.
like,
Had all the
After the
essentials.
guy, harassed her, of course. Oh, look, they're friends again.
oh.
I love. That's
You're
so
great. You're powerful. You're so funny. Oh my God, are you funny?
good. And then a 5-minute scene, she just remembers everything and goes to
I
helping
like how the writers like wrote that, and they're probably so proud of themselves. They're like, "Oh, we did a character
Look what we
developing
did."
moment."
How emotional was that?
It's weird too that they spend like 20 minutes of this movie saying nothing and then just have to sum it up in one line so we all understand what they could have spent the last like 20 minutes to 25 minutes showing us.
Yep.
But instead we just get nonsense flashbacks of like lore that doesn't make any fucking sense so that we can get one line to be like, you're the most powerful, strongest, funniest person I've ever met.
Never mind, Nick Fury's just eating and drinking the whole fucking time.
True nigger right there.
Wow. Well, there goes my channel. God damn it.
No, I'm black. I can say it.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Twitch
Your
rules.
hair color says different, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, is this where so Monica's telling her mom, go, please. And what kind of an example would you set for your daughter if you don't? I'm like, oh, God. Just shut up. Cringe.
Oh my
Like
God, I'm looking at the writers right now, and they are all, they never touched a penis in their life. Holy crap!
What?
Just a lot of boys, a lot of batteries used in their house.
A lot of bush and armpit hair, and never touched a penis. I guarantee it. Yeah.
A lot of double-edged devices.
I mean, the guy definitely touched penis, if you know what I mean.
But I mean, they could have made that just normal. They could have just could have said, "Hey, I'm just gonna be watching Fresh Prince tonight. You can go to space. That'd be a whole lot cooler than the story about my dad."
Well, he left and never came back. It's like,
but
why?
besides that, they could have had a real just a scene, but
real
nobody.
moment. Yeah,
it's no, like no 10 or 9-year-old is going to come out with this long story about
the Fresh Prince.
women like you have fought for rights for years. It's like those stories that you read on Twitter. My 6-year-old told me how proud they were of me for putting my flag. Like this didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Well, this is my most hated scene. I hate this one the most.
Oh, it's so bad. This fake laugh that she gets.
Yeah, the kid knows how to use this thing. Like he just automatically knows how to use this. It's like 1995.
That's the costume Vex would wear right there. Right
Right.
there.
I don't know
That's
why
what I shoved to it,
superhero
right?
movies are so obsessed with showing us how they get their costumes.
Yeah.
The only
I
time
think
it's ever been cool was Iron Man.
I think it's just because it's like finally because they always go through like
reveal.
a journey, right? So finally getting the costume is kind of like this is the final transition into who they're supposed to become. I really just feel it's like an easy out just to kind of wrap up.
Just to throw it in.
Yeah.
Ooh, Daredevil too. Daredevil getting his costume in season 1. That was fucking dope.
Badass.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Felt like something.
Oh look, Jude Law finally showed up.
Just on that previous scene, though, when the mother says that she tries to sum up the plan, which is, you want to turn an aeroplane into a spaceship, and you want to fly up an untested technology, and you're going to get attacked by aliens and all the rest of that. No, I can't leave my daughter for this mission. And the daughter says, no, what kind of example are you setting? She's setting the right fucking example.
She wants to stay because you don't have to. Your dad left. Why would I leave?
You are a mother. You are a single mother to a young daughter. Absolutely, your priority should be stay at home with the daughter. I don't want to be one of those sorts of people, but I did Google, did the right to have kids? And lo and behold, the answer is no. And it's not at all surprising, just because the basic subtext of that scene is no, you should go and pursue your career no matter what happens. Like, go and pursue your goal irrespective of consequence for those around you, which I don't think comes very naturally to people who do have kids.
Yeah, to hell with your family or your kids. Go live your dream.
Yet in Ahsoka, you take your child on missions and dangerous missions.
Oh, and
and you take them along and use them.
Yeah, they got the Force. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be good.
Yeah,
true.
They'll be good.
He can hear things.
Yes.
Yeah, Jude Law comes in and I think he tells right away that.
Did you see that smug Jude Law face?
Yeah. I see through you, bitch.
Well, this is why we should have totally gotten
More
Carol
Jude Law.
Danvers / Jude Law, mind grape kind of movie.
There we
instead.
go.
Would have worked
That
so
would have
much
been way
better.
better.
You're asking for too much intelligence there, Vex. Like these are. Look at what you're getting instead. It tells you everything you need to know.
It's not even intelligent. If none of these women have taken a dick in their life, it should be
That's
pretty
true.
easy to just imagine what sex is like. Because
Rubber is no substitute. God damn it.
arguably they must be using those a lot, so there must be something.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He's
There's
like,
the other
they're under the
slightly
floorboards.
weird subtext moment to this scene as well, because it's typically the case with superhero films that part of the story is what the hero is willing to sacrifice for other people. And in this film, it's very much how many people will sacrifice themselves for Captain Marvel. And this poor little Skrull person, bearing in mind this is supposed to be a race on the edge of extinction, and they've left him there, and she hasn't even taken the time to prep him with basic answers to basic questions. So he's just died for her. For no apparent reason. Well, she's a god, so I guess that must be the reason. But still, it's not how I would treat my race if my race was on the verge of genocide.
Yeah. Well, it's because you have a brain. And you actually think things through. These people don't. So, yeah. And then this is where he tells.
There's a reason they're extinct.
Yeah.
They're going
this
extinct.
is where he tells Homeboy, he's like, all right, we're coming. We're gonna come now. And
I'm coming with my hammer. That doesn't.
I'll be there in 22 hours.
22 hours.
I can't jump there for plot reasons.
One of the most advanced races ever, and they have to carry around their fucking hammers everywhere. It's like,
Oh, look, they're flying into space, and he's warning Fury that that's not really a cat. You might not want to play with it. And he's like, shut up.
Well, no, they're going over to can you turn into a cabinet? And he's like, what
oh
the hell?
yeah,
Why
with
would
his
I turn-
power.
I'm like, what kind?
wasn't funny.
Why would you? Like,
that's true, Jay. I do.
I'm not the T-1000.
Listen, I'll neither confirm or deny my rubber usage.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Jay Goodwin says, "I speak from experience. Rubber is no substitute." And I'm like, I can either confirm. Shut up.
That explains your autism so much, though. If
There's so many things that can explain that. Yeah, you would know because you call it out all the time. Which is good.
Oh.
Well, the autism. Never mind. Anyway, yeah. So they're flying into space. They modified this thing to. Oh, look, the cat's floating. Isn't that cute?
She's never flown a plane, but yet she can fly a plane into space.
Modify it enough to fly it into space.
Yeah, they spent so much time, rigging it up there on Earth, with the welder and the saw. You saw sparks, didn't you? There was sparks.
This is where they're finding Marvel's secret ship that's just hovering, and they don't know where it is. But then
it's just sitting outside of Earth's
chilling,
orbit, and nobody had ever had an inkling that it might be there in the 30
device.
years of documented space travel that
It was
happening.
cloaked, but then I don't understand how she has the knowledge to uncloak it. Why does her wrist computer come with the power to uncloak a thing that wasn't built by the people
Doesn't
that she
she
serves?
say she's searching for something on the device, and it's like there's something here, but let me uncloak
Marvel's
it.
laboratory.
It can uncloak a spaceship, but it can't call home.
Right.
There you go.
Well,
And then
unless it
you
has
think,
a
well,
Game
as soon
Boy.
as you're on it, surely the most important thing is to recloak the damn thing, because everyone's going to see this giant, moon-sized object in orbit. But no.
It's so bad.
Now, for the people who've read the comics, is that how they got the name? This Marvel? Is that what?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
There's been numerous Captain Marvels. Actually, there was a Captain Marvel in DC Comics. And
wasn't that Shazam?
Yes.
It was
Shazam was kept.
And then Marvel sued them, I think.
No, they kept the name, but they didn't want to. I think they changed the name to the Shazam because they didn't want to confuse the general audience at that time that it was a Marvel comic, so they went with just Shazam. I don't think there was any legal implications out of that.
Oh, look, it's the thing.
Naming something Marvel, though, it's like naming your kid NyQuil. Like, Marvel, get over here. Like, no, it doesn't work.
Hey, NyQuil.
Tropicana.
This scene, by the way, is actually where you can see the worst CGI. So, I was paying careful attention to just the finer details, like the beginning where she's hanging upside down. If you look closely at her feet, they've put the opposite feet on either side, so her left foot is on the right side and her right foot is on the left side. Yeah, I thought that was weird. But look at her face. Look at how poorly CGI'd her face is because of the light coming off the Tesseract.
That's pretty bad.
So these Skrull people, it seems like they're all the same character. Okay, you remember Thor was living on that new little island with people in his shack when he got all fat. And you got the funny, somewhat quasi-British guy living with him, and he's all funny like this. They're all the same character, I feel like.
Yeah, they are, 100%.
Yeah, nothing original,
Yeah, and this movie tries really hard for us to care about these people.
Because they're refugees, Andrew. They're refugees. They're misplaced. They need a home. He does some weird call out to them, which is fucking cringy as hell. Sounds like Chewbacca.
It would have been better if he said, "Hey, Lucy, I'm home."
No, motherfuckers, I'm here. That would have been better. And then, of course, his family comes out and all the people. It's like, oh, God, this is so fucking bad. Never mind, we have 40 minutes left in the fucking movie for it to
Oh,
end.
my God.
And it's like, oh, God, please. I thought we were getting close to the end.
Did they explain here why they were hiding on the ship? Because I think I blacked out basically the last half hour of this movie.
Sort of, yes. They definitely explained why they didn't communicate with anybody else outside. That's because the mad old science lady told them not to.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't, even though they've been stuck here playing fucking Tetris for 6 years and haven't gone mad.
Okay, that was pretty goddamn funny.
Playing with trolls.
As for why they're there to begin with, I'm guessing that's no, I don't think the film does explain it. My guess is that because Mad Old Science Lady was on their side, they communicated and they built this big cloaked facility to hide the family.
He says it, like what you said, just stay here. Don't do anything. And that's why they're there. They're playing ping pong and, like you said, Tetris for 6 years. How do they eat? What are the
What's
what
with
are
the
they eating?
Skrulls getting all like close and sniffing each other's faces like they're our president or something? Let me get up on that. Oh yeah.
I love the smell of your face. Oh yeah, they're talking about this is war. And
You saying that Joe Biden is a Skrull? 'Cause I can believe that.
You know what?
That would explain a lot.
There's something going on. There's something definitely going on there. Oh God, you found, and now they're all friends now. You found my family, and I love you for it. And of course, she gets all
Wait,
teary-eyed.
why did they trust the crazy scientist lady then? Is it because she had that hyperspace thing?
She was working on a way to end the war.
The war. Yeah. She switched.
So, yeah, she's on their side. I guess that's why they trusted her, and they hid in her secret base. But given that they've been here for 6+ years, and it's a cloaked giant spaceship, and no one's been able to find them, I don't really know why they need the lightspeed technology when they've been quite good at staying hidden.
Exactly. Why?
Also-
Why is the lightspeed technology? Oh, it's so they could find another world.
Another
right?
home. He wants to find a home. Yeah.
Okay.
And what are they eating for all that time?
Pussy.
Themselves.
It's pronounced flirkin, right?
They're reproducing on there, so they're definitely
Yeah.
eating something.
Yeah.
Oh, look, the
when
bad
your-
guys showed up.
And your face looks like a Brussels sprout with a mouth. I mean, what else are you gonna do? You got things to do, man. Like we're all fucking ugly here. Let's just bang, okay?
Let's just do this.
Exactly.
Fuck.
That's how you get those, isolated communities that are full of inbred. in Appalachia.
I like it. Oh, oh, look, Jude Law's pissed off. He found her, and he does some things to her with his device where he just beats the shit out of her.
Okay, so here's another thing that maybe it was explained in another series or something, but why do they hate the Skrulls so much?
Somebody? Anybody?
Um,
I don't remember.
Well, in the comics, the Skrulls are trying to take over the planets. Like they're just kind of spreading and trying to take over the planets, whatever they can.
They just have to eradicate them.
And the MCU, who the fuck knows? Like
Because now
racism.
They started off being like what you described, like they're taking over planets, and so we need to take care of them. Okay, that makes sense. But now they're being posed as refugees, but it's never explained why Jude Law's character is like gung ho. Like, why is he still so hell bent on this? There's no explanation as to the reasoning for the villain.
He's being a good soldier, Vex.
Oh, all right. I'm all for racial eradication. Then I'm on board.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
yeah.
Well, we won't bring up America and Afghanistan then. You know, there was a few.
Listen,
people
they
that-
hit our towers.
goddammit.
All right?
Come
They
on.
hit our towers. Take them down.
Listen, platoon wannabe. Just relax there, buddy. Yeah, so this is where we wake up. What song was playing during this scene? I forget. It was some stupid 90s song.
It was
I don't know.
Nirvana. Nirvana.
That's
was
what.
playing.
Yeah, that's right. And she wakes up inside this AI machine again, and here we get the whole. This was so fucking bad.
Fucking
God, this
Judi
was
Dench
bad.
starts dancing to fucking.
She did.
Nirvana.
Oh, you like my jacket? And, oh, this
So
music.
fun. Oh yeah.
This music
Which
isn't even
also-
relative to her.
Again, this doesn't make sense either, because if we're following the timeline of events, she also hasn't been back to Earth since 1989. So how has she heard Nirvana?
Because it's convenient.
She was really into that
Groovy
underground
song,
shit.
man.
That's
From the 90s. It's so quirky.
This is the same thing what they're doing with Star Wars. You have so many questions and zero answers, and you don't get answers from anything that they put out.
And if you question it, you're a piece of shit.
You're racist. You're misogynist. You're all the other things. So
I am a terrible person.
Scanning. Oh, this is where they scan everybody, and we get the the danger levels of each thing. And of course, when they get to Nick Fury, haha, no threat at all. Oh, it must be
Not
busted.
according to FBI statistics.
I was okay with that just because they're a human race, right? They have no.
No, I get that.
Really. So I was okay with it, but I can see how
Well-
someone else would interpret that as like, oh, they're trying to
Yeah.
emasculate another man.
Well, the summer of love didn't happen yet, so
Well,
that's why.
I don't know.
It's bad. I get it. I get it, but it just felt cringy. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Gord, oh my God, Gord,
If Kurt
King.
Cobain saw his music was described. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that subtitle really did not match it. But the music plays.
God,
Yeah.
Gord. Oh man.
To be fair, since this is a female empowerment movie, perhaps a song about a man potentially killing himself is upbeat. Just because it's
That
a
is
man
very
movie.
true. Anything compared to this fucking movie's upbeat.
Oh,
I thought a woman did it.
Well, that's the rumor.
No, neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's
or everywhere where, you know.
Oh, look.
Oh
at this
man,
shot.
that shot. Okay.
That's a nice shot.
Can we get that off the screen?
Oh God, what happened? You broke it.
No, that
broke
was
it.
America's gooch right there.
Hold on.
I salute that gooch.
The gooch broke everything.
Yes, that's the power of gooch.
The power of gooch,
The
baby.
flirkin' gooch broke everything.
Yeah.
There we go. I don't know if I can get back to that. Oh, this is good. Yeah.
Oh God.
While she's flying in the air, she sees her. Oh,
And
there
the
we
whole
go.
moral message they're going for here is that she's putting her down by saying that without us, like we made you big and strong, and we were one of us, and without us, you're just human, and human is weak. And then Brie Larson comes out and says, "No, I am human, and that's what makes me strong," or something like that. But actually, it's not that. Light speed goo is what made you strong. That's nothing to do with being human.
It's your
It's like-
fucking magic. This part was so fucking crit with the her.
Oh.
This is the
Go
worst
ahead,
fucking
Max. Go ahead,
thing I've
Max.
ever seen.
Go ahead. Max.
Right. And this raises another again, maybe I blacked this out. Why is now the crazy scientist a bad guy? Is it because she intentionally wanted her to blow that up so she'd have an experiment, or
No, she's not. She's not the bad guy. She's just the projection based on the subconscious of someone who Captain Marvel cared about. So it's not actually Crazy Science Woman. It's just a mental image.
okay, so then why is she perceiving it as evil? Or is this supposed to be symbolic of her overcoming her hurdles and whatnot and becoming the woman she's always meant to be?
Both, I guess, because it ties into the Supreme Intelligence, which also it's weird that they can just access her on this random ship, even though that she had to go to a giant temple in order to connect to it in the first 10 minutes.
Right.
So they just have a mobile Supreme Intelligence package. Apparently.
All of this could have been fixed by her hearing Sylvester Stallone and Rocky say, you know, you just gotta get back up. That's how winners are made. You know?
Yeah.
She just watched Rocky in this movie.
Right. Yeah. She would have not needed any of this.
No.
We could have watched a movie of her watching Rocky, and it would have been a better movie than this.
Just keep moving forward. You just keep moving forward.
Also, I think we skipped the moment where Jude Law's character is surprised that Captain Marvel switched her colors on her suit.
Yeah, he says, "What did you do to your suit?"
Even though that they're able to do, everyone can do that on your gauntlet. Like this is software that they installed onto the suit.
Right.
I mean, they made it so available that a kid can operate it. You know.
Yeah. And also, I like the idea that if you change the colors of the symbol, it has a completely new meaning, which is funny because if like an ex-Nazi just took the swastika and changed it to pink, everything would be fine then.
I mean, some people would be a nice change.
I know some people that would rock a pink swastika. Oh, look, it's lovely in pink now. It's so friendly. Yeah, there's a few people. That fucking flashback scene though, where she's just getting up. Oh God, it was so bad. Like here, yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, these don't make you a weak woman. These are just things that would normally happen to you as a child. So I don't understand why she's narcissistic enough to think that these are specific to her development as a human being.
Oh, she's crying. My name is Carol.
That's how delicate the audience is nowadays.
This was as bad as the sever the nerve moment in Black Widow. It's just like, my name is Carol.
Miss Carol.
It's like, man,
Avenger. Carol Avenger Danvers.
She's trying to break free. See, she's glowing again. Her hands are doing things.
I think
And,
why
like,
is it that she's inside the Supreme Intelligence, and yet when she fights the Supreme Intelligence, which for some reason fires magical bullshit beams at her, it drains the power for the entire ship. But when there's a power cut, the prison deactivates, and so they let all the prisoners out, which is not good prison design.
No, I don't.
Are you a good prison design?
I just want prison to work, all right? Whether I've been there or not.
We need good prisons, damn it.
Whatever happens in Platoon's basement,
I don't ask questions,
you know,
man.
he knows.
All I'm saying is, if there's a power cut in my house, Backface is not getting out. So
there's lots of rubber down here. I'll just leave it at that.
Just blink if you need help, man. Blink if you need help.
So much rubber.
Make 50 Shades look like
Isn't there-
50 I don't know, shades of white. I don't know, some fucking
Platoon says
a dark motherfucker.
Platoon says bring out the gimp, and then there's Bagface coming out.
He unzips my mouth so I can eat.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's like, here, take your vape.
Here's some pretzels.
50 Shades of White is my street name, though. So.
Oh god, I love the line she makes here. She's like, "I've been fighting with one hand tied behind my back this whole time." It's like, oh Jesus, shut up. Yeah, then she breaks free.
She never thought in all of her 6 years of being there, like, no one else has this chip in their neck. Maybe I should take this chip out of my neck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Never.
she just rips it off in the dream. It's like, it's that easy.
Yep, it was that easy the whole time.
And we get OP Captain Marvel.
Well, she's just become Jesus at this point, and this is the point at which I started going and doing other things in the film, because as soon as she's this powerful, there are no stakes left in anything.
No.
That's an impressive gooch.
Look at that. Jay, you're the Gooch King. You like what you're seeing here? Or?
Well, it's a metaphor. It's just don't fuck with pussy, because pussy will just knock
That's
you
exactly
out.
it. Yes, pussy will destroy your life.
Her eyes say it all.
Yeah. That's
like, look at that gooch.
Look at that gooch.
Would you look at
wet.
It's, you know, you guys, I'm so glad you're embracing the gooch. It's about time.
Oh, it's you're never gonna stop. Never gonna stop.
No.
What was? Oh, so wait, we haven't got to Vex's favorite part where they play that great song while she's kicking all the men to ass. Yeah.
Oh,
So it killed the
worst
tone.
soundtrack that's ever existed. It's so bad.
It's
so
the
bad.
pacing of that song just doesn't line up with what is going on screen at all. So it actually, like, it could have been a half decent, pretty stereotypical action sequence, but then you've got No Doubt playing in the background, and it just doesn't make any bloody sense. Like,
It's so stupid. Yeah, there's a lot of fighting going on here, and she's like, they're trying to make it as like she's still trying to learn. Like this fucking part was so stupid too.
Oh, fuck.
It looks like a Nerf game. Is that a Nerf gun? Yeah.
It is a Nerf gun.
Oh, haha!
She
Look
shoots
at
her in the face with a Nerf gun, and
it's
doesn't know
those things
a
that were
Nerf gun.
popular. Yeah. She couldn't
You
tell.
can't tell the difference between
The
your
weight
alien
between a
plasma fucking gun and a Nerf gun.
That's
And a
women
fucking-
logic, though. That's just women logic.
It's just a metaphor for how everybody else was nerfed.
Wait, he's got the gooch. He's got the gooch.
There you go. God damn it! You can't escape it. Yeah, this is where they're about to cap. Yeah, they're gonna blow them out of the ship, right? Isn't that what they said? Blow them off the back of the ship or something.
This part actually made me laugh, but not for the reasons that it was trying to.
Because it was fucking retarded.
Like, Nick Fury, follow my lead, just like in Havana, and then he just proceeds to shoot all of the people, and Nick Fury's just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
What lead? What lead are you following? Just
He
watch me shoot all
picks
the
up a
people.
gun.
Nick.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't even like defend them while they walk into the ship. He just goes into the ship with a gun.
Yep.
He's just like, I'm stealing this for home.
Yeah. Here we go. There's a lot of stuff happening here. There you go. There's OP. There's, what did you call her platoon? Jesus. She's playing
Literally
Jesus now.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at this point, there is nothing she can't do. She is indestructible. She is all powerful. She has every power she can possibly want to have. And like, if you compare it to Iron Man, for example, when like his story is really just a story about how he fails and works, but every time he's successful, he fails in the next thing. Whereas Captain Marvel, by contrast, is just, what does the scene demand? Oh, now she realizes she has this power and there is no drawback to it.
Right.
And there's no interest there. Why do we care about her fighting any of these people when we know she can't possibly die?
Until there needs to be tension, and then all of a sudden she's like, "I'm not OP," and then like 18 seconds later she's like, "Oh wait, I am OP. Sorry, I forgot."
Did he get shot here?
Well, I like the point. Yes. I like the point that you brought up, Platoon, because with Iron Man, like in the movie, he almost dies because of his greed and his own weaponry gets used against him, which was a really good take, which is actually in the comics. But yeah, I agree with what you were saying.
People used to say when they were trying to defend this film, they used to try and say, "Oh, but what about Tony Stark? He's really just arrogant and egotistical. Isn't that the same thing?" It's like, no, it's the opposite thing, because that's a flaw in his character. Whereas for Captain Marvel, that's how she gets her power. There's a huge difference between those two things. In fact, they are literally like the opposite thing.
I mean, you can even argue that that's how Iron Man gets his suit, is that he's like arrogant enough to do it. Like, in a cave, I guess, under. But it
Underground,
is
his house, yeah.
it's the crux of his character is that his arrogance always comes back to bite him until he makes like that ultimate sacrifice, which will be undone when they bring him back. But we won't talk about that.
Well, this is where we get Mohawk. Captain Mohawk.
Oh, it looks so bad. This is the worst
bad.
CGI in the movie.
Bad.
Everything in this sequence is
she's
jarring.
flying. So she gets loose, he breaks her away. Yeah, and then she's floating and just decides to close. And she just closes her eyes and it's like, oh, I can. And she just
opens with
they were
laser eyes.
They were thinking this was going to be like the scene amongst all scenes. Like this is going to be like a scene from The Godfather, you know, with you know, the famous Sonny getting shot down, or you know, whatever. It's oh god, it's so bad.
Oh, there's Blue Lady. Hello. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff happening here. They're just trying to get away.
I love how she could fly through the Grand Canyon in this plane.
Oh, look how happy she is.
She's never flown that plane in her whole life. But
Was that a Star Wars reference, though? I could have sworn I've seen that same scene in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's Phantom Menace.
I thought it was Independence Day as opposed to Phantom Menace. Independence Day has the same scene where they go through the canyon. That is itself a kind of Star Wars.
Smith,
playback, but...
yeah.
Actually, it goes all the way back to Superman 3 with, I think that's the one with Richard Pryor, where they're going through the Grand Canyon.
By the way, Tessa Thompson is going to be in the Marvels. Just a heads up.
Yeah.
Oh, goody. That's
even
the JJ Unite.
Lots of clam slap in that movie.
I'm here for it, man. I'm here for some intergalactic scissoring.
Well, they're trying to be they're trying to be really coy about the cameos in that film, but in the press packets they've released, they've already confirmed that the X-Men themes are going to be in there, for example. It's just like, what's the point in even trying to hide what you're going to be doing in the post-credit scene?
Oh, they're going to dump everything next week. I guarantee it. Or this week. Yeah. There'll be a trailer out this week where you see what X-Men's in the post-credit scene.
So, what are they going to put in there? Are they going to introduce Dark Phoenix? What are they going to?
Apparently, it was Beast, but Kelsey Grammer Beast is
Yeah.
in the post-credit scene.
Yeah,
it would still be better than bringing Professor X back and then having Brie Larson snap his neck. So there's always
snap and break him in half. Yeah, with her glowing hands. Oh yeah, this is when
Marvel.
This is when Homeboy shows up, right? Blue Boy shows up with his hammer and his missiles, and she destroys everything. And
by the way, those missiles were supposed to destroy the entirety of Earth, and they made an explosion barely the size of a nuke.
Yeah. And he's surprised, like, oh, no, but they don't have defense mechanisms capable of beating this. Yeah, well,
even though we have a nuke that looks powerful enough to take
no one's witnessing it. That's the funny thing.
Nobody's seeing
an EMP at all.
No one's
smashing through the atmosphere. No big deal.
Yeah.
And
there's that massively cringe line as well, in a bit like when he says, "We'll be back soon for the weapon," and his sidekick says, "The Lightspeed engine," and he says, "For the woman."
Yeah, for the woman.
And it never happened.
Yeah, cringe.
You know that was supposed to be the plot of Captain Marvel 2, but they were like, "Oh shit."
There's nothing we can do with this.
I know this is a dumb thing, but like 6 gigantic alien ships pop out of wormholes right in front of Earth and launch a bunch of rockets before a flying deity rips through a bunch of the ships, and no one fucking sees it.
Nobody sees it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's like Celestial at the end of Eternals just
this
showing up.
This is worse than the Celestial at the end of Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the Avengers, they're freaking out in New York when they're being attacked.
Look at that. She does the thing.
Aliens exist. Whoa.
She does the thing.
Here, it's just like everyone's just carry on.
She does the fist thing, like, you better not come back.
And the only reason she doesn't kill him is because he has to show up in Guardians.
Get in the mix.
Well, I thought they originally she was supposed to be giving him double fingers, and then they got rid of that
cut it out,
because
because he wouldn't.
You
know
can't
what
flip
the
off the
fuck
Blue
that
Man Group.
means. It's like, what? How does he even know what this means? Like, I don't know. Like, none of these people are from Earth. How does he just know,
dude?
He only knows what hammer time is. That's all.
It is the 90s, yeah. So.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know what dancing is. I mean, he has to face Peter Quill, and he's like, dance off, and he's like, what? But he knows
what is this?
This is universal in every
what is going on
alien language.
Look, he's trying to convince her not to use her powers. He's like, all right, if you could beat me in a fight.
This part was pretty funny.
Yeah, he's just.
Let me gaslight this bitch.
It makes her
Nope, that didn't work.
worse. Like there is no point to this extra scene except to make her seem worse. So he's basically saying, "No, fight me like a man," and she's like, "No, bam, emotions to the face." And then he flies into some rocks. And then she drags him back to a ship and magically fixes it and sends her back into space. But all this is doing is making her seem graceless and arrogant and evil because he's already defeated. He knows that, she knows that, and yet there she is dragging him through a desert.
But how does she know? Like the whole point of it is that she can't control her powers, right? But she knows just enough to pump enough juice into this spaceship so that he can go back to the Kree homeworld, like
the homeland.
He's gonna make lasers that blast holes into giant ships can just start an engine.
Literally, the scene before this, she's fighting those dudes and she's using her arm blasters and is throwing herself around because she doesn't understand how to use her powers.
She's cuckolded the Tesseract, basically. Like it doesn't hurt her. It has to. It has to sit in the corner while she does things. You know, it's bad.
Just watches.
Speaking of final trailers, by the way, the final trailer of the Marvels just came out an hour ago.
Ooh.
And it has Iron Man and Captain America in it for no reason. In the
flashbacks.
Please come see it, please.
Please, God, anything. Speaking of stupid,
We'll let Robert Downey Jr. do blackface again. Come on, dude. Whatever you need.
Hey, I'll go see the movie if they do that again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they actually did put Iron Man in it. What the fuck?
Yeah, they have to. They have to get all the member berries in there for people to go, oh, what are they? Because they're yeah. Well, they're bringing them all back eventually.
Does he look all vegan?
No, it's just flashbacks. It's just flashbacks.
You know the guy who's watched Captain Marvel like 132 times? Where was he for the Marvels? Where is he right now?
There was a dude like that?
Yeah. He's 6 feet under. He's probably 6 feet under somewhere.
Rid of him.
Some people say he's still watching it to this day.
It's going and going. Let me find out
I'm just halfway into that trailer right now, and the amount of Captain Marvel footage in it amounts to about 2 seconds.
Of course.
Yeah, it's all
nobody cares about that. Yeah.
There's a lot more Brie though in this trailer compared to
She did a lot more coke before this one too. God damn, she is so much skinnier.
Yes.
I sent you an image of the guy who watched the movie 140 times.
Oh God. Hold on, let me.
Sure, it's a guy.
I feel like they just spoiled this whole movie now with this final trailer.
Of course, because nobody
What is there left to see now?
There you go. That's the guy. And Brie's like, oh look,
see
my Gucci.
I feel like that's the face double that they use while she's in the suit floating in space. You see the cheek? She looks so stupid out in space like that.
140 goddamn times.
Where was when the universe needed him most? He vanished.
Where was he? Poor guy, man. I wonder how much Disney paid him.
They literally show the villain dying in the trailer.
Yeah.
What?
Of course.
Spoilers, bro. Why'd they do that?
They literally just showed all the highlights of their film.
Oh, you know what I want to do now?
Yeah, this trailer is all the hot characters, so people are going to be like thinking that they're in this movie.
It's going to be in a great. Yeah, exactly what it is. Yep, and they're going to be very disappointed.
It's false
you know what I
advertising.
I want to make a review of the movie without even seeing it, just going off of the trailers and see how accurate I am.
Might be better.
Do it.
I would love to see you do it.
We find out how Nick Fury got his bad eye, which probably is the stupidest fucking thing in this whole movie.
Yeah,
it's so dumb.
Yeah, this also just kind of ruins his character for all the other Marvel movies because not only is he just like basically a pussy throughout all of this, but there's no edge to him. Like you don't understand how Nick Fury went from being this lovable kind of like quirky guy to just kind of like this kind of like sardonic hard ass for the rest of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And they're 100% going to make a joke
make
about
it make sense. So you've got to say that the Winter Soldier has, I think it's the Winter Soldier has the line, "The last time I trusted a guy, I lost my eye."
Yes.
Like, is he lying about that? Is he bullshitting because he's actually just the soyest black man in the world?
Well, I mean, maybe Goose is a boy though, so.
How are you going to assume the Flerken's gender?
Yeah, that's fucked up. Man.
And then you have the big payoff of it is like you have to keep both eyes open, and now it's just like when I watch that scene, it's like he got that ripped out by a cat.
Yep. Fucking
not even ripped out. It was just a scratch. The cat just scratched him and he lost his eye.
Yeah, but an infected gooch coming at you, that speed, that's dangerous,
Yeah, this is the part where they're bonding a little bit, and this is where she gives him the pager that shows up in
She should have given me some Neosporin.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
he's like, my eye's okay. It's bleeding and fucking pus is coming out of it. Pus is
That-
into the
Don't leak
dishes.
on the dishes.
Oh, like here, only in emergencies. Call me. It could reach through galaxies. She says. Oh my fucking.
I like
God.
how this movie became based for 30 seconds, and it showed a woman in the washing the dishes.
Making dishes, washing
Yeah.
dishes. Yep.
She dries the dishes, but then she puts them on a rack, which I don't get.
Also,
I don't understand that logic. That
Like-
really irritated me. Sorry.
I don't mean to be a fucking science nerd or anything,
Do
but
it.
unless that pager can send messages faster than light, there's no like he's gonna send a message, and if she's
It
in the
skips
closest
galaxies,
galaxy to us, it's gonna be like
22 hours.
like 10,000 years before she comes
No,
back to help.
specifically
I think it's
5 years.
25,000 years.
Is it 25,000? Is that
I think light speed
Andromeda?
to get to the closest galaxy to ours. I
Oh,
think
so
is
she
something like
makes it with the
25,000.
Game Boy Color. Okay.
Yeah, the Milky Way.
it
The
has-
Milky Way's 105,700 light years across. Okay, yeah, well, but
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
Captain
yeah.
Marvel, so
Yeah.
22 hours.
She probably
The,
hacked it with another Game Boy. There you go.
Yeah,
a Game Boy
communication
Advance.
device has warp.
PSP technology.
Game Boy Advance. Yeah, this is where they say goodbye to each other. It's so tearful and beautiful. At this point, I'm just like, please, fucking God, let this movie end. Oh, here we go. Flying around, doing the thing that they do at the end of these fucking movies.
By the way, is it because I got the feeling from the opening scenes that her laser thingies would like burn everything, but it didn't burn her suit. But now she's glowing everywhere, which I mean, is it just a glow or is it like some? Because it looks like rays. So shouldn't this be burning that jacket to a?
No, she's a vampire from Twilight, and that's the
Nothing
glow that
burns.
yeah,
Okay.
nothing
Yeah.
burns.
All right, all right.
Yeah, twinkle, twinkle, baby.
Twilight's
Oh,
better than
look,
this.
I think it'll,
That scene
think
does very quickly. That scene establishes that she can fly at light speed. That does make her the strongest weapon known to physics, because she is an impregnable object which nothing can penetrate, i.e., the densest thing in the galaxy, which can travel at light speed through anything. She can create. She can fly through planets and destroy them physically. She's insane, and that's why she shouldn't exist. One of the many reasons she shouldn't exist. But
One of them.
She
Backface is
literally
like, I can fix her.
breaks relativity. I'll fix her. Like, and it doesn't.
He's breaking down the side. Okay, Christopher Nolan, go.
The thing that fucks me up is like, even if you fly at light speed,
Oh, God, here we
everything
go.
like time continues moving. So like, yeah, she can fly at light speed, and sure, she'll get places quickly. But like to Earth, that's thousands of years still. It doesn't matter how fast she fucking flies. Time still passes
Hold on.
outside of her existence. It's just so dumb, dude. It's just so fucking it works perfectly. I can fly at light speed. I think Guardians did it well because they're just like,
Yeah,
wormholes.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only
try
way
to
you
make
can
it
break
work,
it. It's
yeah.
just wormholes. That's it. But
yeah, they try to implement that in here, but they don't do it for some reason.
Yeah, there is a scene where you see them come through one of those time jump thingies, and then they just never use it again. You just kind of
yeah.
assume that.
I think they call them
Yeah.
bonus
Oh,
holes.
I like this part here where he comes up with his initiative and he sees her photo. It says Avenger. On her
No
chest.
longer
Like,
based on Captain America. It is
No.
Yeah.
Marvel now.
no.
Gay.
Gay.
Yeah. Then we get a couple of fucking scenes at the after credits, and it's like where the
The pager goes off, right?
pager goes. No, this is where the cat comes in and throws up the
Throws
tesseract
up the-
on the fucking thing, and it's like, okay, ha 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 ha.
Hold on. Wasn't the Tesseract on Asgard?
No, that was the
Yeah.
Aether or whatever. The
No,
bright goo.
Because Loki tries to steal the Tesseract, right? So in the first Thor movie, locked up in the vault, isn't
Oh
the
yes,
Tesseract
it ends
there?
up back there, but it's not.
So how did it go from here on Earth to back there?
So
Listen, you're asking questions.
So originally it was in a church in Cap, the first
Yes.
Avenger.
Yes.
And then evil red Nazi man stole it, started making tech out of it. Then it got evaporated and teleported to another side of the galaxy. Then it melted through the floor, ended up in the ocean. Then sometime later, Howard Stark found it in the ocean while looking for Cap, and then he and then that's, I guess, where this movie happens, where
and then Christopher Walken came in and said, "I had this tesseract up my ass, up my ass for 6 years,
and
6 years
being with
in my gooch."
Pegasus. And then in Avengers 1, the tesseract is used by the evil scientist man to make the teleporting device to bring in the invasion. And then at the end of the movie, both the Space Stone and the Tesseract, or the Mind Stone and the Tesseract, are taken with Thor to Asgard.
But then doesn't Loki steal it in the first one, and then it ends up back on Earth for the events of the Avengers?
No, that's Ragnarok is when he sees it and steals it.
No, because it ends up in Loki's hands for the Avengers 1. That's how he got the scepter. Remember?
No, because
doesn't he come through the portal? So they open the time portal using the Tesseract. Loki comes through.
Yes.
And then Loki gets it from that point onwards, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's in his scepter after that.
No, that's the Mind Stone.
Just
the Mind Stone's in
my boy Bagface has got to bounce.
I do.
Okay.
Sorry.
I love you, Bagface. You want to shout out anything before you go, man? What do you got coming up?
I have a new video up on my channel right now about TikTokers getting arrested. It's pretty fun. And
Nice.
me and Andrew got a show every Sunday.
Go check that out, please.
But yeah, we'll talk, Andrew. I'm gonna be on commission for like 4 weeks, so
okay.
We'll talk. I think
right.
I can do
Good.
it from bed, but we'll talk.
It'll
about it.
just
But-
be you just chilling, just like this.
Yep.
The entire
ladies
show.
will love that, though.
That is true.
It doesn't take that long. It doesn't take that long for a vasectomy. It's usually
I support you, man. I support
Yeah.
you, buddy. Remember that.
Which is it's Slight Tomfoolery every Sunday at 8 p.m. Sometimes we're late. Usually we're late. I deleted the entirety of the stream today, so I'll have to remake all the fancy things we do. So
what?
Maybe next week. Yeah, I had to reset my whole computer because the stream was fucking up last night, and I thought I saved it all, but I didn't. But that's
God
okay.
damn it.
We'll get creative. Maybe it'll look a little different. Come check it out. It'll be a nice surprise.
Definitely
Thanks for
check
having
it
me
out.
on, G.
Of course, dude. Anytime information's in the description, please go check out his stuff. Thank you, Bagface, as always.
Love you all.
See you, Bag.
See you
Love
soon.
you, brother.
buddy. See you,
Bye,
buddy.
guys.
Okay. Colored man's gone now. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Now we just got to get rid of the British guy.
Hey, look,
People would think it's you, Andrew. You got no mustache. You look like a.
there is a
British
woman
guy.
on the panel before me. Surely there
That
is
is
someone.
true.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess Vex, you want to do the trivia? Please go at it, lady.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of trivia, just
Thank God.
FYI. Yeah. Okay, so budget for this movie was $160 million. The worldwide take-home was just over $1.1 billion, though that is hotly contested given the whole buying tickets thing that came out with Disney. So this came out March 8th, 2019. It debuted at #1 alongside How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, which I think was the second or third movie in
Third,
that franchise.
I
Okay.
think.
And it only stayed at #1 for 2 weeks. Dipped pretty quickly, yes.
Shocker.
So I actually put like a brief history because I think most people aren't aware of that. So the Captain Marvel character name and or trademark as related to comics spans multiple decades and at least 3 different publishers. The first comic book character named Captain Marvel was introduced in late 1939 and today is known as DC Comics Shazam, which Jay was saying earlier. Was the flagship character of Fawcett Comics. Fawcett was sued in 1941 by DC, who alleged this Captain Marvel was a copyright infringement of Superman, successfully driving Fawcett's character out of print by 1953. When Fawcett's trademark on Captain Marvel fell into limbo after over a decade of disuse, MF. Who the fuck is MF?
Motherfuckers.
I guess MF Enterprises attempted to introduce their own Captain Marvel in 1966. Marvel Comics, in response, introduced their own Captain Marvel or Marvel and successfully sued MF behind their use of Marvel in their publication's title, which Marvel Comics had trademarked. When DC decided to revive Fawcett's Captain Marvel themselves in 1972, they learned they could not use Captain Marvel in the comic book's title due to Marvel's trademark. DC instead marketed their character under the name Shazam. The name of their Captain Marvel's mentor and the magic word the character uses to access his powers. In order for Marvel to retain their trademark, they were required to publish Captain Marvel comic books. Not being a popular money-making character, Marvel fulfilled this requirement by publishing a series of one-off comic books over a series of years. In 2012, Carol Danvers, the former Miss Marvel and the lead character of this movie, acquired the Captain Marvel mantle at Marvel, while DC decided to rename their character Shazam at the same time. Ironically, a Shazam feature film from New Line Cinema, Warner Bros. And DC Entertainment was released in theaters a month after this film.
Wow.
Did Samuel Jackson write that? There was a lot of MFs.
Oh, yeah, a lot of MFs. Yep,
Enough of these motherfuckers.
Motherfucker stole my name.
So a lot of legal fallout, it turns out.
I didn't.
That's interesting.
Only knew about Marvel and DC. They were.
Yeah, I didn't know about the other stuff.
I didn't go any further.
I guess my favorite part is where we do the ranking or the rating. Any rating system.
Done with trivia, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. You stopped talking.
Because I was letting their conversation come
My
out.
fault. God, when a woman stops, I
Jesus,
gotta get
dial
right
your
in there.
autism back, man.
MF.
Fucking
Yeah.
MFO. MFO. All right, sorry. Let's go.
The cutout character that Varys shoots in the Blockbuster store was originally supposed to be the Mask, with Varys mistaking the green face for a Skrull, but the filmmakers couldn't secure the rights from Warner Brothers, so they used Harry Tasker from True Lies.
Huh. Interesting.
Which makes more sense now with her shooting it if it were the Mask's face, in all honesty.
Yeah.
To prepare for her role as Captain Marvel, Brie Larson trained for 4 hours a day over 9 months, learning judo, boxing, and wrestling. She also visited the Nellis Air Force Base and met with active duty airmen, including Brigadier General Jeannie Levette and Thunderbirds pilot Major Stefan Cajun Del Bagno, who died in a crash and whom the movie plays tribute to in the credits.
Oh, poor. That's. Oh.
I know, poor fucker, right?
Yeah.
Ahead of the film's
She
release,
didn't even fly in the movie.
Right? Captain Marvel's
military air base.
want to see score, an audience anticipation poll on Rotten Tomatoes had fallen to 28%. Some reports described the decline as an effort by some to review bomb the film's page with negative comments.
Oh, get fucked.
Yeah, attacking the film and Larson for their perceived feminism. Rotten Tomatoes changed the want to see feature shortly after, showing only the number of people indicating interest in the film instead of a percentage. The announcement said this was part of a larger redesign of the site and that the want to see feature would be restored once the film was released. By 8 a.m. the opening day in the US, the film held a 33% audience score from more than 58,000 reviews, which was more audience reviews than Avengers Infinity War had during its entire theatrical run. Analysts attributed the low score and sheer number of reviews to online trolling. And that is also why so much changed on Rotten Tomatoes after that.
Yeah,
I love
alternatively,
trolling.
it's just a really bad film that lots of people really didn't like, but they went to see it anyway because there was huge hype around everything Marvel at the time. So, of course, everyone went to see it. Lo and behold, they were given something they did not expect, which is not just perceived feminism, but actually political, overtly political all the way through, without a story to tell, which breaks a huge amount of the MCU, as we've already discussed, and people didn't like that very much. And if it had just been nothing but positive reviews, they wouldn't have been saying, oh, but it's being review bombed by lovers as opposed to haters, would they? Because nobody does that.
Where did we hear that before? Same thing with
shocking.
Ahsoka and all the Star Wars stuff.
Yep. So Jude Law was previously considered for 3 other Marvel roles, which I didn't know. The first being Spider-Man in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
No.
Actually, sorry, it's 4 roles. Now, he was also considered for either Mr. Fantastic or Doctor Doom in 2005's Fantastic Four film.
Doctor Doom?
Doctor Doom. They cooked here.
Maybe.
Not going to lie.
Maybe.
Yeah. And he was also considered for Aldrich Killian in Iron Man 3.
Interesting.
And I do have a little bit,
so I don't have enough
little bit of casting trivia. Yes. So Keanu Reeves was almost cast as Jan Rog.
Who's that guy again?
I think that's Ben. Is that Ben Mendelsohn's character? Who's Jan Rog? That's a good question.
Wait, is that? Wait.
Go ahead, stashless Andrew Cook, baby. Find that.
I don't see him in that film at all.
Wasn't Keanu Reeves rumored to be in a Marvel movie for?
Oh, sorry. Jan Rog is Jude Law's character.
Yeah, that's Jude Law's character. I forgot his name.
God, no.
That's how much they matter.
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
No.
Lasers, lots of lasers. No.
He can't do evil. So
No.
I wouldn't.
No.
Yeah.
Not a good bad guy.
Now there were several actresses considered for Captain Marvel before Brie Larson was cast. Are you
Let's hear
ready?
this. Oh, please. That's my favorite part.
All right, Catherine Winnick
No.
from Vikings.
She's hot, but no.
Any of these are going to be better than.
Her. Yeah.
Brie
She's
Larson,
beautiful.
to be honest
Yeah.
here.
Catherine Winnick is gorgeous. Yeah.
Okay, Natalie Dormer.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know about his Captain Marvel.
Yep. Anything
Andrew's like,
but Brie.
Go
Anything, bro.
Emily Blunt.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, now with her comments about throwing scripts away whenever it says strong, powerful female, I can understand why she maybe.
Oh, she'd say no, but she's better than Brie. So
Yes.
she's mommy.
Katie.
Stupid.
Katie Sackhoff.
Ooh.
Sackhoff.
I think she'd be too old, in all honesty.
I gotta get a mental image.
Yeah,
I mean, she's still playing Bo-Katan in The Mandalorian, for example. She doesn't look too old. She just can't really act.
Yeah.
Nah.
And Emily Blunt is too. I don't know. She's too innocent. I think she
Innocent?
would. She would.
Not from what I've
You
seen.
watch The Devil Wears Prada, man? Come on.
Yeah, Vex wants to review that movie one day. And I'm like,
Yeah. Okay.
Not a bad movie. Not a bad movie. Okay.
Jay's
My
gonna be
dad
awful.
likes it, so there you go.
I got Andy during it, so it's okay.
Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
Wait.
Yes.
She was actually a really, really close contender, allegedly.
That's fucking.
She would have been way better.
Okay.
Anyone would have been way better.
Yvonne Strahovski.
Strahovski?
Who?
Who?
She was.
Can you spell that out for me?
Strahovski. She was in the last Predator movie. Not Prey.
She was in that show. Oh God, what was the?
Hey, yo.
What was the show?
Yeah, bro.
She's hot. Yeah.
She was in a show. back
Hey,
in-
man.
Chuck. She was on the show
cooked
Chuck.
this and said no.
Yeah.
Okay,
Actually, you know what? Now that
bring
I
it
see
up.
her-
Bring it up. Bring it up.
Let me see if.
Oh, it's getting brought up.
Oh,
man.
things are going up, baby. They're
Bro.
going way up.
I know her from Dexter because she was Dexter's love
Hold on, I'm
interest.
bringing up
like,
before. She was in
season
Chuck.
5 or
Oh,
season
her.
6.
Okay. Yeah.
Hold on, let me see if I got it. She's a looker.
Why is this taking you so long, bro?
Because
He's older than like
I have
most
it.
of us.
I got it. There you go.
Takes longer to get it up.
Don't
Thank you, Gord. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
Hey,
hell
man.
yes.
Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But like, they still would have given her the same shittily written character. So
But at least she'd be way hotter.
She's much better looking.
I will say that she would have filled out that suit way better than Brie. Way better.
Mhm.
She's got him in all the right places.
Listen,
Sure does.
higher, further, faster, baby.
All right,
I'm
and
in
I have
it.
one more. I have
I'm
one
up.
more. Okay,
Go ahead.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh, higher, further, faster, baby. Oh man.
I mean,
Who's she?
This movie
I
would've
don't even
been
know who
a
that's.
10 out of 10.
you don't know who Rebecca Ferguson is?
Mission
No.
Impossible.
She was in Mission Impossible,
Silo.
Fallout, and
She's the lead in Silo.
Silo.
Oh, that chick? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
He's like, oh, that hurt. Yeah, that's all it's about.
Has Andrew gone away to wank?
Andrew.
I think
Yeah,
so, yeah.
He's like, he's gonna go. I know what he's gonna go do.
he's gonna have to change that Cosby sweater.
Changing the sweater.
That's all I have for trivia.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. I love the trivia. I love the casting stuff. It's always fun. Hilarious. All right, now we do the stupid ranking thing, the ratings. I don't care what rating system you use, but let's start with Platoon. Since you love this movie so much, if you had to give this movie a rating, what would you give it?
Oh fuck. I'm going to say 2. I think it's by far the most
fair.
damaging of the ones from Marvel Phases 1 to 3. There were bad films in Phases 1 to 3, like Iron Man 3 stands out quite dramatically. But this one does way more damage to everything that comes after it, which is the entirety of the MCU. It has no story to tell, it has no character, and I only reserve number 1 because there will always be something worse. But it's very much on a par with what we've come to expect from Phase 4, I think.
Fair enough. Jay? But you
I give it 1.5 out of 10 Gooches.
Most people in the chat are giving it a 1 or 2.
It's all over the place. There's it's just a mess. There's it doesn't fit anywhere. The acting's horrible. The direction's horrible. It's just terrible in general. There's nothing. You're not emotionally involved in this movie at all. It's flat. It's now you see. This is kind of the direction you're seeing from when I watch this. I'm like, oh, that makes sense when you watch an Ahsoka because you're getting the same garbage. You're just same emotionless, terrible directing and acting layout, and it's just that's what Disney's doing now, and I don't know where they're spending the money because it's really bad. So 1.5.
There you go. Andrew, cook, buddy. What do you give this?
So when the movie first started with this explosion sand and then it woke up from a dream, on rewatch I was like, oh, this might have some interesting cinematography and sound work and editing, and I was very disappointed because none of that actually happened. It had 5 seconds of me being interested, and then the camera work got really dull. The editing was really dull. It was very aggravating. Yeah, the CGI was fine for the most part until the last act. I thought the de-aging was probably the best that Disney's ever done. It's better than Luke, so I'll give it that.
What about Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War? Was it better than that one?
I'd say probably yeah, because that one does have some uncanniness to it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the cat also looks fine. The CGI
Until
cat
the end
when it's there. But yeah, overall, there's no real story. There's a lot of just disappointing parts where you could have had some cool idea happen, but the movie is too busy with doing cool plot stuff that's just actually terrible instead of doing any character work. So I'd probably agree with a 2.
I think it's a fair. White Bear? Oh. Give me your. How many O's do you
It's
give
going to get a 2 Flirkin' Gooches out of 10. I'd almost move it up to 3 Back Faces in Platoon's Basement out of 10, but
we don't go there. Yeah.
I just every bit of this, I was really trying to. I was going to be on with the team with Vex on trying to even attempt to play defender on this because we don't want it to be constantly just shitting on it.
An echo chamber, yeah.
Yeah, I found a few scenes that I could enjoy. Like I said, I called them out, those 2 scenes, and that's about it. Other than that, it was so unneeded, and remember at the time that they were billing this as you need to see this to understand, about what's going to happen later. And all you really needed to know is that Skrulls existed and woman is Jesus, so that's all you really needed to understand. She's the I win button, you didn't have me, so it's gonna have to get a 2.
I do like that. I tried really hard to find nice things to say, and I did say nice things about 2 scenes, and then the rest of it was shit.
Out of a 2-hour movie.
I was the same. I went into it thinking I'm going to try really hard to find nice things to say about the film. It can't be that bad, can it? Oh
yes.
Oh, I stand corrected.
Yeah. Captain Vex, what's you?
I give this 2 potential grape stories between Jan Rog and Captain Marvel out of 10. I really think they would have hit box office gold if they went with that, in all honesty. I have a lot of the sentiments you guys have as well. I really tried to, because I didn't really remember much of it. I just remember this movie being more content. That's it. So I went in genuinely trying to find something decent about this film. I found it very hard past the first 5 minutes, unfortunately, because I just had more questions than answers. Even just stylistically, character development, plot, there's nothing seriously positive I can put out there. So yeah, I'm just two out of 10. But it's still probably better than it's better than Thor 4. I'll give it that.
Better than Ant-Man and the newest.
Actually, you know what? No, hold on. I take that back because at least Thor 4 had Christian Bale, and he gave a pretty good performance in that movie for what
That's
it was.
true. Yeah. Fair enough. I'm gonna give it 2 out of 10. I'm just a girl because it's fucking. But you all just nailed it. There's really nothing more I have to say. I was a slog to get through. I really disliked every fucking second of this. And again, yeah, you're trying to find things to like. I have a notepad, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can write something down. And then it was just blank at the end of the movie. I was just like, God, thank God it's over.
I'm actually a little surprised this movie got so much flack for the political stuff when it just deserves flack for just like
being shit,
really standard stuff. Like,
really just dull.
Yeah, like it doesn't do
boring.
like basic things right, and I think that deserves more flack than the political messaging that's in there.
Yeah.
In all honesty, so
It just benefited from good placement, and like we always said, just
Against that, I think I'd say because it has absolutely nothing else to offer except its politics. That's the thing everybody focused on at the time. Because if it's doing brand new artistic things or telling a new kind of story, then people will focus more on that. But the fact is, it's such a run-of-the-mill generic story which doesn't hold together. And there's nothing really remarkable about it except the fact it doesn't hold together. The only thing that makes this film distinct from anything in Phase 4, for example, is well, no, actually that's not true because Phase 4 is full of politics. The only thing that makes it distinct from any generic superhero film is the political angle it takes, which I think is why, at the time, that was what was criticized most. But I completely agree. The things really to criticize it for are not those. It's everything else about the film. Everything it breaks, everything it doesn't do correctly, the bad character work, the bad plot, the bad story, everything.
Yeah, it's just bad.
But Disney doesn't learn from this, though. It's annoying because you have this is like the 4th character. You had Captain Marvel, you had Rey from Star Wars, you had She-Hulk, you had Ahsoka.
Echo's about to be a new one as well.
Yeah. You have all these female leads that are so boring and flat. It's just just emotionless, boring shit. No depth to these characters. They're perfect in every way. It's just you'd think they've learned by now not to do this shit because people don't care.
Well, they even said the creator of Echo said today like representation was extremely important in the show, and
yeah, which is why they're making it so that her powers are based off of her ancestors. Because guys, do you get it? She's Native American instead of being her grounded story in the comics that they wanted to do from the start.
Yep.
Okay, but again, I'll go back to Arcane. You got 2 female leads. One is the antagonist, one's the protagonist, and it's done beautifully. It's like you've got so much.
There's more than 2. There's like 5 or 6.
But there's actual suffering and growth.
But you're invested in their story. Like you're going along for the ride, and you're actually feeling it in your chest. You're feeling it like everywhere. You're like you want to watch the show, and when it's ended, you're like, no, don't end. I want to continue watching. This shit they keep pumping out is just complete dog shit. Like it's just. I'm so sick of it.
It's bad.
Yeah, I imagine we would have seen the end of this or maybe they would have woken up a lot sooner if it weren't for COVID. I think just because everyone was locked inside, so we had at least a year to just binge everything they put out, and that definitely boosted numbers. And then there was a lot of things that were delayed that didn't get to filming until 2021, 2022. So it feels like there's possibly at least we're just kind of feeling the brunt of stuff we were supposed to get 2-3 years ago. And now that they're starting to actually wake up to it, or at least allegedly, we're going to see it taper off. I would say, I think Snow White will probably be the last big one.
I don't know. I'd like to think that. It's just that I don't ever underestimate people's capacity to double down on the worst impulses. It's not just a case of, is it making money or not? It's also like, who are the writers in your sphere of influence? Who are the people you're likely to hire? Where have they come from? Where have they been educated? What are their values and goal sets? And who are going to be the people in charge of writing the next generation's worth of stuff? Because these people are by and large hired on like fairly short-term contracts. But once you're in, you're not going to be going out anytime soon because you've got this huge credit to your name. I would like to think that, the money will talk sooner rather than later. The money will talk eventually. But I reckon we've got a good long while of this left, because this is the entire generation of writers Hollywood is currently hiring, and the entire generation of producers currently hiring writers all believe roughly the same thing. And when fans respond to it negatively, they say that's because the fans are racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic bigots. It's not because we're doing anything wrong. And it will take a while for those people to be bled out of the system.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, because they're doubling down on Ahsoka, and that they have had the worst ratings with Ahsoka. Like, I think they had like 99 million hours less than Andor.
Well, they're also doubling down on She-Hulk, right?
Rare Andor.
If we look at WB, they're doubling down on Velma. Then Amazon is doubling down on Rings of Power. So,
yeah,
it's not it's
I
really
want to
a
be
goddamn
hopeful, but the good news is that there are a lot of smaller studios that are starting to come up, and it's starting to, like, A24. They're putting out bangers, and it's making money at the box office.
Yep.
So
we'll see.
Hey, FNAF. Hey, yo.
Well, I'm curious what Universal's going to do. Like, are they actually going to buy WB or not? And if they do, are they going to say, okay, enough of that shit, we're doing it this way? Because Universal's like, they're like basically saying whatever Disney's doing, we're doing the complete opposite.
Universal's doing really well, right? Their parks are doing well. Like, yeah.
Did Universal make Dead Reckoning? Was it Universal?
Was that them?
I did Mario. I don't know about Dead Reckoning.
Let's
I don't know.
Who makes Mission Impossible movies? Is it Paramount or Universal?
I thought it was.
I want to say it's
Paramount,
Paramount.
I think.
I think it's
Yeah,
Paramount.
I think that's
it's
Paramount.
Paramount.
I was going to make a joke, but it's irrelevant now.
Yeah, Dead Reckoning was mid, very mid.
That movie was terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't one of
They
my
peaked
favorites.
with 6. Like, you can't. 6 was so good.
Fallout was
Yeah, it would be hard to top that. And
Didn't
unfortunately,
Dead Reckoning Part 2 just get delayed again?
yeah, another year.
Oh,
No, it's not
And then-
named Part 2. It's named
Yeah,
that's right.
something
They
else.
changed it.
as
But
well.
I think
going back to this the sequel here, the Captain Marvel sequel, like the director wasn't even involved. Like, she just kind of
she did it
She
remotely.
dipped out. Yeah, she kind of
She
dipped
tried to
out
play it
like
off.
3/4 of the way. Yeah, because she had other projects, and she's just kind of like,
She's like, well, because of
I don't
COVID
wanna-
and this and that. Like, she made some bullshit excuse today about that went around saying why she did it remotely and finished it. And it's like,
When exactly did she step away? Was it during post-production?
post-production. Yeah.
Oh,
It's just
that's
the most
usually that's
important part.
that's mostly normal, just because you have assistant directors and you also have the
That can
editor
finish
that
it.
kind of becomes the assistant director, because the
Then
editor is
again, with
probably the most
Marvel, though, famously Marvel is very bad at having to make major changes to films during post-production. So if there's one studio that actually requires directors on site during post, it's probably going to be Marvel. And the fact that she fucked off to do other things doesn't really, bode well. There's another question which I had based on rewatching Captain Marvel, which is it ties into Secret Wars, the show that I couldn't even be bothered to finish. But the premise of that show is that they blame Nick Fury for not finding the Skrulls in New Homeworld, but the closing scene of Captain Marvel is that she goes away with them to find them a new homeworld. So is there something I'm missing there, or
not only that, but also Nick uses them as slave labor for S.H.I.E.L.D. That's great.
Nice.
How did he get there, though, when he knows that they're just struggling, like they were a persecuted race? How did he get from that? Is this a Chinese Uyghur camp metaphor or something
Your
like
Honor,
that?
Your Honor, we don't know.
This is the Disney way. Multiple questions, no answers. You just you're left stumped. Like,
and
that's
then even in Endgame, like it's clearly said that Carol, like it's alluded to that Carol is out there doing what she was seen doing at the end of the Marvels as well. That's why she wasn't there for anything.
Anything else? Yeah. I don't fucking
wouldn't
understand.
Nick Fury hit that pager for an alien invasion, or
Probably
a robot lifting a city from the sky?
Nah, that's not important.
I guess.
No, just destroying everything. No.
This is kind of just like the fan fiction of movies, basically. It undoes everything. It doesn't have any premise. It doesn't have any brevity. It's just kind of there.
It's there. It's content.
Yeah.
That's all.
in the comics, Captain Marvel's non-existent. In fact, Captain Marvel dies numerous times. Like, they kind of bring back that character a few times throughout Marvel, but it's just it's a non-seller, and they just kill that character off. Same with Nick Fury. Nick Fury was originally white. They killed him off, and they brought him back as
So,
you know,
Jay,
They made him better.
because you've read the comic, is there a more appropriate, if we're looking, because they were clearly looking for a female to put in here, would there have been a more appropriate female Marvel character?
Dark Phoenix, but they butchered that as well. Fox,
Well, they didn't,
I don't know.
they didn't
Fox
have the
Studio.
rights, right? So
Maybe what if there was a character in the MCU at the time that was a woman and was a huge seller? I can't think of one. I don't know. Maybe Black Widow, the character who people were begging for a movie for like since the first Avengers.
If you're talking like, okay, you're talking MCU, that's one thing. But if you're talking like comic wise, Dark Phoenix is huge amongst the comic nerds. Like that was like Dark Phoenix, like Jean Grey is the most powerful female. Like, and then you got Storm for the X-Men is another one. You have like so many female characters that you could use, that you could bring up, but Captain Marvel, I don't even know why they went with that. It's the same thing what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. That comic was I didn't know anyone that read that comic, but yet they went that way because they wanted to, use their characters and do whatever they wanted with it. But I mean,
the difference is James Gunn can cook.
Yeah, he's very good. I like his movies, but like Peacemaker, I love that series. I think that series is fantastic. But there's so many characters that they could use that are popular that amongst the comic book community that are, there, but they don't want to use it. Mystique would be a great character. You could do. There's so many characters there.
I think in the MCU though, if you use any X-Men characters, you are significantly gonna break the world building. If you just say, "Hey, X-Men exists now," in the middle of Infinity War and going up to Endgame, I think Captain Marvel is probably your best bet.
Is there no non-X-Men Marvel character you could put in there that is a woman instead? That would still work.
Yeah, She-Hulk. She-Hulk was she was in Fantastic Four for quite a while too, but she was an incredible character. Like John Byrne, when he did the writing for that comic, it was fantastic. And the way they portrayed her in the series is the complete opposite what She-Hulk was. She-Hulk embraced her sexuality. She-Hulk was very, outgoing. She was not afraid to, be flamboyant and very smart. And it was a shame what they did to the character. It's awful. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Disney's killing all these. They're making these killers or making these characters. Like now, they're saying Miles Morales is the true Spider-Man now.
Dude,
well, that's just for Insomniac. To be fair, just Insomniac believes
that's
that.
just for the video game universe. But
yeah,
don't even get me fucking started on that fucking game.
Yeah, but that's gonna transition to the comics as well.
Well, they are making a Miles Morales movie, right? Didn't they say that they want to do a movie for him, like an actual movie for him soon?
Bro, I don't know how you can be into the Spider-Verse. Like that's the
we know. And they just put that on
so
Netflix.
good.
Oh, they put Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Okay. Still haven't seen the new one, buddy. I know you're disappointed in me,
bro.
I know. I gotta watch it.
I haven't seen either of those movies yet. I've been meaning to, just haven't gone around to it.
I think the first one's on Netflix now.
Into the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man movie. And no one can fight me on
I
that.
agree.
Well, I take your
totally
recommendations
agree.
a lot better now after Invincible, Andrew.
Listen, my recommendations slap.
I want you guys to watch a Blue-Eyed
Samurai.
Blue-Eyed Samurai. Yeah, that because visually the animation is incredible because it's CG with hand-drawn cell
It looks
art in
good,
there.
yeah.
And the story
really
it's pretty cool, the story so far, because it's got this Mulan feel, but it's got a very adult tone to it. It's very adult theme.
They have that show on FX coming out, Shogun. I think it's like a remake of an older.
Yeah.
The guy from The Last Samurai.
Was,
who played he's in it. That looks pretty good. There's hopefully some good stuff coming out. Netflix got a shit ton of animation coming out.
Scott Pilgrim's out next week.
Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, well,
can't wait.
Okay.
Good segue there, Vex.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. That is going to be our next movie next week. Is Scott Pilgrim. So, the panel on that one was Spagface, Leon, and Gord King, because Gord King is Michael Cera.
Yeah.
He had to be on there. So I'm looking forward to that. Definitely gonna. I know White Bear's really looking forward to watching Scott Pilgrim.
I don't know how he can hate that movie. It's
I
beautiful,
love that movie.
right?
Yeah, I love.
This is why we love White Bear, though. Then again, he does a lot of cocaine, so we just forgive him for a lot of things.
Nothing wrong with that.
I guess, yeah, at this point, we could just go around, see what everybody's doing, and then head on out. Platoon, you want to shout out anything? Do you have any miniseries videos coming out that people want to see, or 20-hour video?
We say miniseries. For me, that's long. But I'm hoping the next Ahsoka video will be out tomorrow. In theory, it will be out tomorrow. And then the following one on Sunday, and then it will be a sort of weekly from that point onwards. Then, of course, the Marvels happens in the interim. So depending on who I can find to lock in my basement, that will be out within a week or within 2 weeks. But
to be fair, Bagface will be bedridden for 4 weeks.
I was going to say, he's not going to be doing anything. Give him a laptop and he'll be all right.
Yeah. He says bedridden. What he means is chained to the radiator.
Jesus. Oh, God. Jay, what do you got coming up, buddy?
I will be tomorrow night. I'll be having Edwin on. We'll be going through his campaign on Desolate Souls Studios, and then Wednesday I have Elon Mudd on, and we'll be going through his campaign.
Elon Musk. I was like, wait.
No. Yeah, that'd be a fun one. And we'll be going over his new campaign, The Plunger. So that'll be on Desolate Souls Studios. Thursday, I will be doing the final review on Bone Bridger's channel for Loki Season 2.
Nice.
And then this weekend, I'm going to be taking the time off and finishing some things off for someone else and completing that. And then I'm moving on with Desolate Soul Studios, and I got a lot of things planned for the future. I want to thank everyone here and everyone in the chat that came and visited last week for this 100th episode. Thank you so much. It was a great time. I love you guys all. It was amazing. So
we love you too, buddy.
Of course, buddy.
Thanks.
Mr. No more mustache. You fucking break my heart, man.
What? It's just gone. I had to go sleep. The caterpillar got sleepy. All right. Had to go sleep.
What do you got cooking in the cooking there, buddy?
So in editing a bunch of Ahsoka videos, I got backed up on schoolwork that was due. So I've been slowly working on that. Because I have a documentary that's due on Wednesday, and
is that still going to come up on your channel? Since now we got someone drinking vagina beer in order for it to.
Maybe.
Wow.
I don't know if I'll put it on, but I might premiere it on a slight tomfoolery, maybe.
Okay.
So, but yeah, other than that, I might make a Loki video if I care. I might make a Miss Marvel, not Marvel, but of the Marvels video if I care. But right now I don't, so maybe.
Awesome. White Bear, you have any? I don't know. What do you do these days?
Meme videos, compilations.
Yeah. Apparently, the meme videos are the only things that are making.
They're funny. They're
getting the views and all that. Yeah, I got one working, but I didn't really get much done this week. I was just excited because I get to stream with Little Platoon.
Oh.
Dude's his material is addictive. Everybody should go through it. You know, if you got the ability to listen at work and all that, it's a great breakdown.
Yeah, it gets me through.
If you have the ability to listen to British people,
yeah.
6 hours straight.
6 hours of British.
I for one moment enjoy Britain just a little bit.
Just a smidge.
It's saying a lot.
If you can break it up into one parts, it's a great way to get through your work day. Yeah, I do it often. It's funny. Thank you, Whitey. And then Vex, you're not doing 11 streams this week, but what do you have?
No, I am not. This is my last stream for the week, actually. So because I have work deadlines that I need to meet, and I have a Marvels review that will be out on Sunday. So
nice.
Look forward to that. I'm debating doing book review streams. We're thinking about it. I did order 120 Days of Sodom on Andrew's stream yesterday.
There we go.
So by book reviews, do you mean the kind of thing that you do weird things with clams to, or do you mean like actual books?
Actual books. I just happened to have ordered.
These questions, Platoon. You're just better off not knowing the answers to certain things.
True, that book that she was talking about yesterday was crazy.
Oh, you don't even want to know.
I started the second one, and it starts off pretty hard. So
literal.
No, not in that way.
I'm sorry.
Just straight like hunting down pedos so far.
Based?
Yeah, really
right there.
based.
Based book. I'm buying the
Thank
second
you.
one.
Come
not the first
again.
one.
Thank you, Whitey. So I'm thinking about it, but I just don't have time for streams right now. That's
makes sense. It happens.
Actually, to clarify, I don't have time to make my own streams right now.
Cross the streams, man. Cross the streams.
But yeah, that's it for me.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. All their information is in the description. I forgot. I'm so stupid and such a shit bag. I forgot we had super chats. We got 5 of them in the thing. I'm just gonna go through this really quick. So, Gord King, good evening, my fellow Bretards, for $2. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Good morning.
You. Good morning. Grand Darkfang. Can't wait to fall asleep at the gym hearing about Captain Marvel. Yeah, well, I feel your pain. Black Lives or Black Devils? Love you. $1.99. Breeze Hammer Toes or Lizzo's Cooch? That's the poll question.
Breeze toes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Breeze toes. Breeze toes.
Gore King, I checked out the moment I saw Supreme Intelligence was a woman. I can only suspend my disbelief so far. Yes. I do agree with you, Gore King, for 5. And another Gore King for 2. Does Carol's Flurkin have a merkin?
I was gonna make that joke. I wasn't sure if anyone would be familiar. Yeah.
Oh god.
It's the 90s. So.
Stole my merkin.
You guys are awesome. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. The chat in general. You guys were on fire tonight. Thank you, of course, to all my guests. Platoon, always fun having you on. Jay, Gooch Master, Andrew, of course, buddy, and then of course my host. All wonderful people. I will be doing a Friday stream solo. I will be talking about Spider-Man 2 after beating that game, and boy, do I have a lot of commentary on it. I was not as impressed as everybody else was with that game, and there's a lot of problems with it. And I really want to get that shit off my chest.
I heard the story was as bad as the first one.
Story is very weak, and there's of course a lot of messaging and shit thrown in, and Craven was basically just fucking useless in the game until the end. It is a long story. I'll get into it Friday. There'll be 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time around that time, so I'll put it out on Twitter. And then, of course, if I don't say this, she'll kill me. Mrs. Sassy got a stream on Sunday, of course. Oh, and Saturday, me and her are going to be on the Legion of Memers meme stream on Saturday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 4 Eastern Time. So that'll be fun. Yeah, look out for that. We'll be back next Monday. Same time. Scott Pilgrim, White Bear will be doing coke at that point to get through that stream. But hey, we'll love him anyway. Appreciate you, and see you next time, people.
Bye.